Dimensions.
Welcome one and all to the Random Gamers Podcast 3.5 Gamma Edition! Yeah, this thing's come back way too many times to count at this point.
Hooray!
And I am not dead because reasons. I never die. I just keep on coming back for more and more. And also I realized my flipping music was a bit loud, but I can just easily fix that.
I was like 15 the last time we did an episode of this podcast.
Oh god, you're right! It has been that long!
Yeah, I was 15.
How old are you now?
19, turning 20 this year.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a lot.
You should know, Rich, because you were also on that. You were also on the last podcast for this.
For Dragon Balls.
No. It was like the Random Gamers Podcast. We just it was like a 2-hour long session we did.
Was I drunk at that time? Because
no,
I can't remember.
No, it was like 2 years ago. It was back in 2016.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was more than 2 years ago.
Yeah, if I wouldn't be I'd be laughing if it was literally just within this year. Hello, Lemon, and thanks, nerds, dab, and hey, Brandon, welcome to the podcast. We're gonna be talking about the Brolys.
In the meantime, I'm gonna pull up your channel real quick and see when the last one was.
I'm pretty sure it was 2016 because I had you. I had Richard, I had my other buddy, Sniper the Ladies Man. I think someone I knew from
2016 sounds about right.
Yeah, it would be, because I swear that was the length of what it was.
So, are you gonna put this in the playlist for the old podcast?
I mean, no. I mean, I literally just titled this one Episode 1, so I can't I can't exactly do that, because otherwise it's gonna be one of those weird...
So Episode 1 of the podcast published March 24th, 2015.
God, that is long. God. I'm here just to call you a nerd, hashtag good friend. I figured you'd be there, Lemon, for that. Nothing new there. Jesus. This is not surprising.
I wasn't on that one, though. I don't think I was there till... I was there on episode 2.
Yeah, I think it was episode 2, because the first one was basically just talking about the timeline of the, It was talking about the timeline of the Dragon Ball games and all that, when they came out and what we thought about them and all that. And I don't even speak to the other guy that was in that one anymore, if anything.
Oh, Omega, whatever. Or Scenaro.
Yeah, I talk to Sam still. I talk to him occasionally.
Okay, yeah. Then the last episode that was done was on September 6th, 2015.
Oh, it was 2016. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird.
And that one had that was the one with Rich on it.
Yeah, I thought so, because I swear I was not going...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his profile picture was a guy from Fist of the North Star.
Oh, yeah.
So it was.
That's right, I remember now. That year's right.
Yeah, I've clearly slimmed down in the years, and now I am adopting this body of Morishige.
Yes, that's what it is. Adopting. You're just adopting random bodies just for your own weird purposes. Because, that's not the weird thing about that. Oh god, he's speaking gibberish again.
Anyways.
So, yes. Welcome to the Random Gamers Podcast. We'll be talking about Broly, and I would like to introduce you to my original co-host that joined in the original second version of podcast, Calamity, who was known as... Wait, what was your original name in the original podcast?
I don't even remember. That was... Yeah, I don't know. But yes... I am here. I think my actual name was used in the last one anyway.
Yeah, I think it was. It was Neo something, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was my Xbox gamer tag.
I think that was the one you were going by at the time as well on YouTube.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Then we also have Just Rich, also known as Just Rich Gaming.
Hey.
He's only here for contract reasons.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
And then we have the Broly fanboy over in the top right of the corner, also known as Special K!
Yay! Oh, thank you. You're too kind.
So yes, he will be the one with all the Broly knowledge for this podcast.
I will tell you, everybody, if you're right or if you're wrong in your opinions.
Feel free, if you need to, leave anything in the chat. We will respond to them about after we've gone through like the summary of the story. But before we do that, we do need to go over one of the sad parts about this movie.
Are we seriously? Are we actually going to be addressing the elephant in the room with Yana?
It's gonna be brief. Let's just say that.
Let's make this a band-aid and let's get out of the way.
But we need to talk about it because it is important.
So yes.
So Curtis, how would you like to start with the first controversy that doesn't involve Vic?
I'm sorry, I got a bit lost there. Are we actually talking about the whole like fact that he's being accused, even though there's nothing?
I'll talk about that. You talk about the controversy that involved the guy who made the joke tweet.
Ah, shit, that's right. Well, I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. Okay, basically, like everybody was posting tweets about like how they enjoyed the movie and stuff, and somebody, as a joke, decided to post a progressive tweet and along the lines of, this movie promotes beating up people with autism because Broly is he basically, he's not obviously he's still like even though he's like a 40-year-old man, he's sort of like still has the mind of like a kid because of obviously he has like no social skills or anything involving interacting with other people. Do you know what I mean?
I think I can get that, and I was actually just as soon as you said about the thing of like a guy beating up an autistic guy and such, I could see probably some qualities in that of Broly, but at the same time, it's Paragus specifically made Broly to be a killing machine, a tool to kill
Vegeta
and get his vengeance. Understandable. So he's not going to have all of that, but he's shown the combat prowess. Now, the second thing is, every time I think of an autistic quality in Broly, it comes down to the bit where Chi goes, you got to get rid of this fur. And he's like, it stays on! So it's like, but I could see what you're also saying, how that could have a lot of backlash.
Yeah, so anyway, so basically, he made the comment as a joke, and it basically took off as it's been like a serious comment. And he basically replied like saying, whoa, guys, I'm not serious, I'm joking. And just apparently there was articles about it saying about how it's like a really violent movie and it shouldn't be released, and people shouldn't be, like kids especially, shouldn't be allowed to watch it. It's all based on the joke.
Yeah, literally, those guys who tweet that are jerks. Yeah, they really are. But but now we've got that one out of the way. Let's get the major one out of the way. As for anyone who doesn't know about the whole situation, after the movie dropped, there was some unpleasant things going on with the voice acting community involving Vic Mignogna being accused for sexual allegations. Problem with these sexual allegations, though, is that at the time, people were believing in them, and well, if anything, people didn't want to be blamed for not believing in the victims. But of course, the victims all had like similar type of stories where it was more of a he said, she said situation. It didn't provide enough evidence. And when there was evidence...
Sorry guys, I'll be right back, alright? I'll be gone like maybe 20 minutes, alright? Sorry about this.
Yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it. So, in case people want to know what happened, many news articles started actually using specific images to slander Vic's name. And of course, it worked to a degree. He's not working exactly with Funimation anymore, and one of the projects he was voicing the character on, he got replaced, and he got taken off Ruby by Rooster Teeth. So then after that, things started to take a turn, which I don't think anyone was expecting. YouTubers and people who supported Vic all started to roll together and start saying that, hey, no, when I met Vic, this never happened. You're using images that I consented to. You're just making up shit. And people were finding more and more evidence to back up everything. and talking about who was conspiring to do this whole thing, but it's all come up with a silver lining. Vic has now been given the money to actually afford a lawyer, and now he will be going to take the people who's been slandering him to court. So, with that out of the way, we will now actually get into the actual synopsis of the movie.
Best of luck to Vic Mignogna to getting that sorted out, because that you don't do something, you don't make allegations like that. That's a very serious thing. But,
sadly, his days as Broly are probably done regardless of what happens.
Well, it will also probably depend on if Namco Bandai actually still hire him, because here's the thing, Funimation is just a licensing firm. They get the distribution rights to sell the stuff. But every single voice actor that apparently works there don't work there. They're contractors. So if anything, Broly in Fighters can still come back. It's just a case of Namco Bandai are still going to be fine with actually allowing him to continue doing the work as Broly.
I'm 99% sure they're going to recast him for that, though. Sadly.
And what are they going to do? Are they going to get a big green dub Broly? Prepare to die forever!
You don't want to be saying you're really loud. Oh god, we need to talk about that sometime. But yes,
Are we actually watching the movie, or is this just
no? These are just images because I do not want to get in trouble by Funimation or anyone. So yeah.
Okay, fine, fair enough. So
yeah, I've got the sub in just a gallery just to look at the images and all that. So I'm also gonna be trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. So for people wanting to know, if people who haven't seen the movie or are not going to be able to see the movie, but if you have seen the movie, then stick around. If you don't care about spoilers or anything like that, then stick around because we will be explaining the plot of the story. So, several years ago on planet Vegeta, a family ruled by King Code was visiting planet Vegeta 41 years ago. Of course, if anyone knows the Dragon Ball lore, King Code is the father of the tyrannical king of the universe at the time, or emperor of the universe, Frieza. And of course, him and his band of merry men as the Ginyu Force, Zarbon, Dodoria, and two new people, Berry Blue and Kikuno, were now heading towards the planet. And on this day, it was going to be the turning point for all the Saiyans. The turning point in which the Saiyans were going to be given new devices, and to meet their new ruler, Frieza, of course. With the Frieza,
that's Lord Frieza to you.
Oh, sorry, biased.
Well, yeah.
Lord Frieza, sorry.
You gotta be careful, because I remember later in the movie he melted someone because his breath smelled bad.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah,
it's Lord Frieza.
Lord Frieza and his men will like flying the ships, destroying some of Planet Vegeta's like buildings and all that, though, making their way there on some really, really good dynamic shots of the movie. And of course, when King Vegeta found out, he isn't exactly very happy to find out that, well, King Code has actually come to the planet. And a lot of the Saiyans, including, well, Paragus himself, are terrified by the fact that Frieza has shown up to the planet. And also, if you've been watching Dragon Ball, some of the Saiyans' outfits look similar to what Kaba wears from Universe 6. Not too sure if that's a connection of anything. I mean, Caleb, what do you think?
It is a connection, because if I recall, in the Universe 6 tournament, Vegeta mentions that Kaba's uniform looks similar to what the Saiyans used to wear.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, that was like... Here's the thing. The only reason I say that, though, is because back then we didn't have enough clue... We didn't have enough idea of what the Saiyans were like. There was not much information to go on, but I think this movie basically just grounds that idea into the...
This was kind of like to keep continuity of that statement.
Yeah. Who hate Frieza? No, I don't. Like, if you're asking the question of like who hates Frieza, like as a character, I don't hate him. I actually think he's actually one of the better characters in Dragon Ball. And he's actually pretty funny when you get.
Yeah, I will admit that he is funny, but obviously not a nice guy in any sense. You know,
I don't hate Frieza, but I'm also not sure I'm happy about how much he's being used. Like,
yeah, I can.
They brought him back full, and he's just a main cast character now, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I was saying this the other day, and this is what I'm calling out. it's going to be very unlikely that they're going to bring Cell back. The reason being is that I think I remember a bit of trivia from Akira Toriyama is that Cell, because of how many spots he has, on his kind of
hang on.
body
hang on. I can actually tell you this right now. That's not an issue anymore. CG and everything like that, all those things can literally be done simply as you'd think. It's not like back then when everything was hand-drawn. Yes, that would have been impossible to bring Cell back. If they did a movie back in the 90s with Cell coming back, then yes, that would be a problem. But now...
Yeah, point taken. I mean, after all, this did have, like, CG. This did have, like, a computer 3D part.
He comes back as Golden Cell, and it's just... It removes all the spots, and he's just, like, a sleek gold color.
He's basically just a car. Well, Gohan, what do you think of my new golden form? Isn't that what Frieza did? No.
You look like a car, Cell.
Yeah, could Cell hypothetically go golden?
I mean, he has.
Is
Frieza...
everything just golden now?
I mean,
can Beerus go golden?
I mean, give him a chance, maybe. But back to the synopsis of the movie. Frieza's men arrive, and we see the Ginyu Force along with Zarbon Dodoria with them. Like I said before, because they're part of his men, obviously. Lord Frieza's men. You gotta remember that. You gotta make sure you respect the Ginyu Force.
I love the Ginyu Force.
Were they posing in that thing the whole time when Golden Frieza was given that spiel? Because if so, that's dedication. I think that's the one thing I liked about the Ginyu Force is they're very dedicated into their poses, and they fucking have passion in it.
Yes,
and Frieza's just understanding of it.
Yeah, he's just like he's like somewhat fine with the idea, but like it's not something like normal, let's just say, that he doesn't really like. But yes, King Vegeta heads out to meet King Code along with Kikano, and of course Berry Blue and Frieza. With King Vegeta trying to greet King Code by giving him a formal handshake as if they're on equal footing, but of course everyone knows that, well, they're not on equal footing. If they were, then they wouldn't be listening to King Code. So with King Code arriving, he introduces his son, Lord Frieza. And of course, just from one glance, King Vegeta knows that Lord Frieza is not someone you want to mess with on a bad day. And Frieza, being who he is, a tyrannical leader, is being sadistic towards the Saiyans. And, well, as any king would be, they'd be madly annoyed. And so, with them arriving, he introduced the fact being that the Code Force is now going to become the Frieza Force, and saying that Frieza is, well, probably a much more coder as a person than what he is. And so you get like a good few, you get a good few shots of like everything going on around the area and all that though, and with Frieza finally introducing himself to them as "Hello, monkeys," and hoping that they will work well with him. And of course, Frieza being Frieza, this is what happens. Cheap and easy saying, is this a commentary of the movie? No, it's basically a podcast talking about the movie. I'm just trying to go over everything. But if need to, I can speed it up a bit. I just happened to take a lot of screenshots of the movie just to make sure I didn't get in trouble. But yes, Frieza introduced the Scouters, making them much better than the scout scopes that they have, which are literally just like sniper rifle scopes they put on like
they're like these weird kind of camera, like handheld camera gun sort of things. You know, I made a joke of that when I was writing up notes, and so oh yeah, this is the bit where he does test it out, and he's like,
yes,
oh my, there seems to be 3 or 4 people target on me. 2000 power level, boom, bang, bang, they're all fucking dead.
Yeah,
but I made the joke where what if the whole movie, what if like with the battle cameras and such, the whole movie went into Cloverfield territory. So it's like the scanning power levels and stuff. It's like, we gotta get out of here, we gotta run, Frieza's going crazy.
That would be really
like
funny.
The camera, like it's like the movie footage is just shaking all over the place.
Yeah, that would be really funny, that. But yes, after Frieza demonstrates the power of the Scouters, he basically makes the Saiyans fear him even more, and then they take off. King Vegeta not exactly being very chuffed about the fact being. So then Vegeta...
I broke one of the scouts. That's a good model.
Yes. Well, not anymore. It's a bad model. So King Vegeta then makes his way off to the chamber. The chamber where I'm assuming this is where, like, the most strongest of babies go. It's where, if you've got a buff baby, you put the baby in.
It was called the nursery. It's like, if it was specifically made so that way you could raise them so that the potential got better. And this was another thing I was looking at this point. I didn't realize. Apparently Vegeta, like Prince Vegeta, is Vegeta the Fourth.
Yes.
I did not know. I didn't realize. Did you realize that Vegeta the Fourth is still alive? And it's like, oh, where is that? I thought it was either here or it was later on.
It's the bit where Frieza talks to Paragus later on. But yes, King Vegeta heads over to see his son and admire his greatness, because he knows that one day his son will be the strongest and will take down that tyrant Lord Frieza. But of course, as he's leaving the chamber, he comes across another baby. A baby of very low commoner standards. And he's not exactly very chuffed about the idea. I'm guessing the nursery staff or the doctors there, like, tell him who he is, and this being Broly. And the reason why Broly is in here is because, well, Broly has...
He's got like erratic power level readings or something like that.
And,
I was making the joke on this because I think King Vegeta said, like, what is this child from the street doing in the royal nursery? And it's like, oh, well, and I was even thinking, yeah, that is actually a good question. Why is he there? Did like Paragus somehow like go up to the doctors and such and go, excuse me, would you mind if I just put my son in here, please?
His mother's dead. Let him put him in this pot.
They ran out of space, and they ran out of space in the economy class. I joke and I make a joke of that, but it did come to reason where it was like, oh, actually, when his son was born, we had reason to believe that he would have been useful to the Saiyan race, you know. But yeah, again, King Vegeta wasn't too happy about this. But even then, I think where was it? It was like they're saying, oh, he's great. You've been upgraded to first class. Yeah,
I saw that comment too.
The thing is, I'm looking at the pods and stuff as well, which makes me wonder, because they've got the breathing pods because of the incubators, because they've got the masks on, obviously, so they can breathe. Or I'm assuming being given nutrients and the like. But they've also got like one like on the like the sitting. It's almost like either a suit or something, and I've got a cable out the other side, so it's I'm assuming.
What do you think that one's for?
No, I can imagine, but it's interesting to see like how the pods work, because I know they've Goku and Vegeta and stuff were in those pods, you know, like the healing pods and stuff. If I really needed to go but I had all my legs broken and such, I certainly would like to have a catheter or something, you know.
Don't worry, we'll get to Goku. We'll get to Goku soon. This is like a good few years before Goku.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Can we talk about what the marketing for this movie was? But they're saying that that 3 Saiyans born on the same. Like, I swear the trailers were like saying that Goku, Broly, and Vegeta were born on the exact same day.
Actually, they weren't. It was 5 years later.
Once you see the movie, it's
yeah, that's the problem. Like the trailer,
you see the time skips. Like the trailer misled because Goku isn't born till years after 5 years after this. Yes. I guess Broly and Vegeta were born on the same day, so that means this movie aged up Broly from what he was.
Yeah, because in Z's version, in Z Broly, Broly and Kakarot were born on the same day.
Yeah, so that means Broly is 5 years older than Z Broly, or Super Broly.
Are we saying that literally Broly is around 40? Is going to be around 46? He's going to be
whatever how old Vegeta is, then he's that.
Yeah, he's about the same age as Vegeta. So yes. He's aged up. Canonically older than the other Broly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to synopsis. So yes, King Vegeta isn't exactly happy about Broly being in the flippin' pod, and goes and takes the scan to see how strong he is. Broly ain't exactly too thrilled about that, and blows the fucking finger because of his power level being too high. King Vegeta not exactly being too chuffed about this, and questioning it, with the other doctors and all the doctors like coming in to say this is actually much lower. It's a much lower end of what his usual power is actually scoped at. But one of the doctors, who apparently is Russian...
Oh, yeah, because I've noticed mostly for the Saiyan race, I always thought, well, besides Bardock, who seems to have that kind of an accent, you know, he's got like a Texas accent. I'm probably butchering that, apologies. But I always thought the Saiyan race were always going to have, from an English... like even King Vegeta, from what I remember, he's like, "Oh yes, I am the prince of, the king of all Saiyans." You know, like they'd have a very
backpedal myself somehow.
Like yes, he's like a very much of a chivalry or like barbaric kind of thing.
He's regal.
Regal, that's the word, but like European, but it's like this one woman, and I don't know why this made me just think, oh, they got Russians in the Saiyan race, so it's like she's like it's like his power readings are amazing, you know. He could even be the legendary Super Saiyan, you know. It's like I'm just thinking of this, like you don't get in Planet Vegeta, you don't kill Saiyan. Saiyan kills you. Like I could just imagine.
And we do it. It's our job.
But sorry, I went on a total tangent. But yeah, the scientists have said, like, yeah, this could be a great asset for you. But King Vegeta is like, yeah, no, this is a bad idea. It's uncontrollable, and I won't have anyone stronger than my son.
Well, speaking of which, during that time, Paragus is apparently found up some tidbit of information he's not exactly too thrilled about. Charges into the throne room and questions he questions that Broly has been sent off to another planet. And King Vegeta acknowledges that fact, but Paragus then retorts saying that is only for lower class warriors, not his son. But the reason is that because, well, due to what happened in the flipping nursery room, King Vegeta isn't exactly too thrilled about the fact being that his son may be stronger than Broly, but being a king, he sees stuff that most people don't seem to see, and tells him that where he is going up to a planetoid, well, not a planet, a planetoid called Vampa, which is what it was supposed to be called, but apparently in the Funimation dub it's called Vampa, where Paragus is saying that planet literally has no life in it, and he sees no point in it. But King Vegeta just outright says that one day Broly will, unironically, kill everything. So he sent him off to that planet to hopefully die. But then, of course, Paragus isn't exactly too happy about that and starts making accusations about King Vegeta being jealous. And of course, King Vegeta being King Vegeta, saying that making of a word and you're both down the spot. And so Paragus and of course King Vegeta then tells him that the pod has been sent, with Paragus making suit towards the landing pods, taking a spaceship, which then one of the people working on the ship, Beat, happens to end up getting pulled into the ship because Paragus decided to just take off.
Well, he did just hijack he did just hijack the thing, you know, like without a second thought, you know, so yeah, so, understandable.
Yeah, Paragus then tells Beat that, well, we're not going back, we're gonna find my son. And he tells him where they're heading off to a planetoid called Vampa, and wonders why he's been sent there, with Paragus then stating that he's not there to do reconnaissance, he's there to die. And someday I will get my revenge on King Vegeta. With then Broly then finally arriving on planet Vampa to an unfortunate sight of the moon. With the title...
Does that actually imply when that happens he actually does go Grey Ape and starts killing it?
Yes.
Okay. I know, because usually when I know... Because if it is the case where you turn into a Grey Ape and start fighting things, fine, I get that. I just didn't know if it came down to it being, like, whenever he gets angry or like later he seems to get more muscly even when he's like not fighting. Even when during the fight. Sorry, I want to touch.
So yeah,
he seemed to have gotten more muscular as he fought on later on in the movie.
Yeah, that's because he was entering the Wrath state. We'll get to that. Anyway, so Paragus and Beat finally arrive on planet Vampa. only to like get pulled into a storm because Paragus is apparently like too lazy to fucking just park the ship and fly out there when it was safer. And of course, he crashes the fucking ship, and now they're out searching with the scout scopes, looking for Broly. And what do they come across? They come across flipping bug demons on this planet, and they're out to eat them. But luckily, they managed to survive the night and actually start the search.
See, that's the kind of camera I was talking about. With Paragus has, you know, it's literally like it's like the quarantine or the Cloverfield camera, you know.
Yes, after when they come out of hiding, Beats makes a joke makes a little offhand remark that. Hang on, I'm going to quickly answer this question. Yes, there are 3 families. There's the Broly family, there's the Paragus family, the King Vegeta family, and the Bardock family. That's the main focus in this movie. But yeah,
correct. Just imagine if there was a Saiyan YouTube with Paragus. Hey there, this is Paragus, and I'm just going to record my progress on my son Broly.
He'd be like Daddy-O5.
GodTube.
He'd be like Daddy-O5 abusing Broly on flipping GodTube. That's what he'd be like, if anything. That's the most accurate representation of it. But yes, Beat makes an offhand marks in that the one of the planets looks like a moon, and Paragus says, "Don't look at it, you'll turn into a great ape." And Beat's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I've never actually become one. Well, if you do, you fuck us both." So then they land on what looks like to be grass, and they notice that those bug things are actually eating from it. But then something starts rumbling from the ground, and a giant puppy-like wolf centipede thing comes out and eats the things, which actually is a symbiotic relationship of they eat it just for sustenance, and then they eat them to get their sustenance. But then Beats comes across the pod, and they search within, noticing that there's no one in it. Oh no, not Daddy-O5, yeah, that guy. But then Paragus knows something on the heat, because the search scout scopes or whatever.
And I'm back.
The search scopes actually have they actually have heat. They actually have infrared and like heat signatures. They can tell what's in them. And of course, Paragus finds Broly, and then subdues him because he's kind of being a bit of a savage. Finds out that his suit's been torn. That he's found that he's also been turned into a great ape. But then
he's like, he's looking at that ass.
Son.
Oh, sorry, you've just skipped a few scenes because I know that no, the floater's not working.
I skipped some scenes because I have 500 of these feckin' scenes, Richard. I had to flip and cut some.
Okay, that's fine.
But no, like
anyways, John, will I be able to like so what is it that you've been talking about since I was gone? We've
literally just been. I've been going over like the synopsis of the movie. Like we've only like literally up to the bit where Paragus finds Broly on Bomper.
Right. Okay. Also, just like the 2 things I just wanted to mention. Okay, just so like briefly, because I know you've probably got a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole Twitter thing was funny. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. It was unintentional, but it happened. And the did you mention the whole Vic thing?
Yeah, I've mentioned everything that needs to be said about it.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to clarify on something. All right. So far, hasn't been anything like to prove that what he's like if he's guilty of what he's been accused of.
Yeah, I've said that too.
And he's gone as far as he's actually getting a lawyer.
Yeah, I've mentioned that too.
So, like, for somebody who apparently has evidence against him, he's got some balls to sort of like push this to like the next level. Do you know what I mean? So either he's an idiot and he's gonna like he's basically gonna expose himself as being a creeper, or this was all a smokescreen and he hasn't done anything wrong. And in that case, he I hope he sues the hell of all the people that have been fucking him over. On as well as that, there has been people who's been removing the tweets and sort of like
too late for that now. They've already been archived.
And do you hear that? That have you heard about the hashtag? What was it? I forgot what it's called. Like hashtag there something. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I'll see if I can like find this.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to continue with the synopsis. So, Beat and Paragus try to get off the planet, but because of Paragus and Reckless's driving, he fucked up the ship. And they've only got enough food to survive, with Beat them panicking about what the hell he's gonna do. But then Paragus comes up with a solution and just straight up kills Beat, so that way they have more food.
Well, I've got a question actually.
Didn't mean to do that.
Okay, okay. So obviously they shot him to preserve rations and stuff to make them sort of like last longer. Do you think they buried the body?
No, they probably let the bugs eat it.
Or here's a question. Do you think the curve resort to temporary cannibalism?
I don't think there's any going back from cannibalism.
Yeah.
Once you've eaten someone, you're kind of fucked.
I think what Paragus came to the conclusion is that, well, since Broly was eating that thing's leg, you can probably eat them. So I think that's where he came to that conclusion, not try to fucking... I think he probably like the bugs, all that. Bar. We'll get to Bar soon. Eat him. Or let him rot in the sun. So yes.
I think, yeah, one of the two. But even then, well, the thing is that even though they got 10 days worth of rations, the thing is later, like Broly says he's never drank water. Are you saying that Paragus kind of held out on?
No, there's probably there's probably no water on the planet.
Fair enough. Fine, that's fine. But I just thought it's and mentioned no. But not even though there's no water on the planet, I'm saying the rations did not consist of water. But that's here or there.
Anyway,
well, they were had to survive on like whatever like liquid nutrients.
Yeah, which was the bugs.
The bugs. The jelly mucus blood or whatever you call it.
Yes.
Anyways, hashtag be there. That was the hashtag that they've just started.
What, they've started now?
Well, I wouldn't say now, but it's like something that has been happening. To sort of like, like it's about like having each other's backs and being there. So hashtag be there.
And people are like, yeah, I know about that one. Like I said, I want to try to keep the thing brief.
Yeah. Anyways, just like that was the hashtag. Like out the way now. And okay, cannibalism. Richard, why'd you do it?
What a jump in that one. But yes, because now Beat is dead, and we skip 5 years into the future, where we see a sleeping Saiyan that looks exactly like Goku, but of course everyone knows him to be Bardock, returning from a mission. The mission
Where's his bandana?
Doesn't have it because he doesn't have it because those fake Saiyans don't exist. Those fake Saiyans don't exist. Not on a timeline. Those Saiyans didn't exist.
What about the flashback in Dragon Ball Z?
What flashback in Dragon Ball Z?
The flashback during episodes where Frieza sees Goku for the first time and he's like, he looks familiar.
Well, they did
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did that in the movie.
Yeah, well, kinda, but he didn't have a bandana.
No, but he didn't exactly have the I don't remember. Did he have the bandana when he was like badly damaged? I don't remember.
We'll look at some screenshots.
Look at it there. But anyway, he's come back from a mission because, well, Frieza has ordered all the Saiyans to return back to planet Vegeta. And, well, Bardock is starting to get a bit suspicious as to why he isn't on the planet. If they have weapons or any intel, why didn't they bring it either onto the planet, or why didn't they not just tell them over the scouters? Because the scouters can be used for communication. So
I find it strange how no one caught on. Like the fact that they basically called everybody in this wrong location. It's sort of like having like a big red X and go like, just stand there for a second, all right?
He look a lot like Goku. That's because that's Goku's dad.
Yes, Bardock is Goku's dad. Now, that's another thing. Is like how did that actual how did that actual communication or announcement happen? Attention, all Saiyans! I want you to come.
Bardock.
I want everybody to return back to planet Vegeta. Okay, can we ask why, sir? No reason. Just.
Richard, you even said before that Frieza melted some guy's face because he had bad breath. Do you really think like Frieza would like say I will not tolerate backsass?
No, I know that, but it's like why? What's the even if it was something like pardon me, Lord Frieza, could you give us a reason as to why you need us all here? Is there something? Is it an urgent business? Is it an urgent business meeting? And it's just come here. Just come here. I'll explain when you all get here.
I guess you could say that.
Let alone on the fact that when Nappa and Vegeta and Raditz and the other two Saiyans survives, they didn't catch on. Where it's like, it's strange that everybody died on planet Vegeta just after Frieza's asked us to go to planet Vegeta. Coincidence?
I think they're more well, to be fair, Saiyans aren't exactly very smart. They're not. We know. We should know this. It's not racist. They're all stupid. I mean, Sean, I mean, one guy even calls over to them asking how their mission went, and even comes with the idea, even came to his own conclusion, saying that maybe Frieza wanted to have a big, massive raid on a planet. Nobody asked why. What the heck? Yeah, the Saiyan's not smart. But yeah, then the guy asked if they've heard anything about the Super Saiyan, and that's when it just a light bulb goes above Bardock's head. It's I knew it. We cut back to Frieza saying,
"Fucking know it."
Yeah, basically that with Kikano saying that all the Saiyans have arrived and no one's heard about the Super Saiyan. With Frieza, of course, he's not going to take any chances. Finally, with Bardock returning home to see Gine, and goes to see little Kakarot as he's resting in the incubator. But Bardock then comes down to the conclusion that he thinks there's something going to happen to all the Saiyans, and then makes preparation.
He didn't want to take any chances, so he was like, "I got an idea. I'll just catapult my son to a separate location."
It's like, "Hey there, honey, how's it going? Hey, guess what? We're catapulting our son to Earth." What? You've just been here 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was just watching I was just reading the Superman comics, and I just had this awesome idea.
Yeah, but yeah. So Bardock tells Gine that they have to send Kakarot somewhere safe. But she questions him. Why would she send? Why would a Saiyan a male Saiyan worry about their son? With Bardock then replying saying that he wants to actually do something other than destroy, and to save something like his lower son Kakarot. With then,
could you imagine if they fired it up and it's goodbye son, and all of a sudden one of the Frieza spaceships fly past, pew.
That could have happened, but no. With tears running from Kakarot's face and seeing his family before he gets catapulted off to space, he then transcends space to head off to Earth.
Here's another funny thing, actually. Wasn't the last words something "Don't forget us" or something like that?
It was Gine's final words. "Don't forget us, Kakarot."
Unfortunately, that kind
Goku's a dick.
It's not his. Did you forget the head injury?
Don't you remember he fell on his head when he was a baby and forgot everything?
Oh, yeah. That's probably non-canon.
That's still canon.
It's alright.
Okay, so if you two don't know, this part of the movie, the Bardock part of the movie is based on Dragon Ball Minus, and at the end of Dragon Ball Minus, you see Goku with Grandpa Gohan. He's just a bit older.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want Frieza to know he had a son. No, Frieza doesn't care. Frieza doesn't care if you have a son or a daughter. He'll kill you all.
It's just it basically comes down to, Brandon, that the fact is he's going to just kill each and every one, and I think it just and it's Goku's power level at this time is so low that it's having that just escape the planet is not going to be noticeable to anybody ever.
So please, Goku. So please don't forget us, Goku. Lands in his head. Damn.
Yeah, basically that. But yeah, Frieza then makes the drastic attack to destroy planet Vegeta with his supernova. The Saiyans watch in disarray about what's happened. But
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, none of them are like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? And it seems like Bardock, who seems to be the only one guy who actually fired a beam to stop this thing from happening. And oh yeah, he does look injured, doesn't he? But yeah. Nobody's deciding to go, oh shit, that's actually coming towards the planet, let's help him, No,
that's another thing I didn't like. That's another thing I thought was weird. Okay, again, I like the movie and that. I felt like there was too much of a jump between Bardock's firing Goku to Earth and then just straight to planet Vegeta being destroyed, like there was no build up. It was like, you know, Goku, no, not Goku, Bardock was pretty much fucked. All right, so we obviously been having a battle, but it was like, you know, that context was never sort of like revealed as to how he got to that stage. It just sort of like jumped into that position.
No, but
you know what I mean?
But, yeah, but
like, I think I wish some sort of context was provided.
You don't need the context though, because if you can still use like the father of Goku as the context technically, that he fought. Because if I go back a few scenes, if you look on the stream, you can see actually some Frieza soldiers like right behind him.
Yeah. But still, all this time, you would have just thought that as soon as the Saiyans saw this, unless they were on the other side of the planet, okay, they would have went, oh shit, that's gonna kill all of us, fucking, like, make an effort to...
Yeah, maybe they were sort of like, wow, that's a really strange sunset. I've never seen that before.
Okay, so here's the problem with that, though. Saiyans weren't powerful. Bardock in the Father of Goku got a power level of 10,000. And I don't know what his power level is in this, but if you got like all the Saiyans, which I don't think there's exactly a lot of them. If anything, there's probably like up to about at least 10,000. Like, yeah, they're not gonna do anything against a giant ball of death.
Oh shit! That's like I just realized I just missed the part. Okay, do you remember the part where Paragus was saying that he's gonna have his revenge?
Yeah, and we already talked about that.
Yeah, and then do you remember the introduction song or whatever you call it?
Yes.
Interlude. Is that what you call it?
The introduction. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, interlude, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. It's just like this. The beginning 5 to 10 seconds reminds me of the classic 80s soundtracks, like, you know, like Akira or whatever you call it. And then the sort of like, you know, I just wanted to say like it's just it puts a nostalgia like theme to it, which I really enjoy.
I think that was the idea.
Yeah, I just thought it was really nice touch. Anyway, sorry, I just thought completely lost my mind there.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a podcast. Like I'd be more worried if you guys didn't say anything, just sat there.
Yeah, just like you do all the talking.
I'm just trying to go over as much as possible with the movie and try to give like a visual appeal for people, because I don't want to get in trouble by Toei Animation for using the movie.
Also, like I said, we're giving our own comment. Like I said, when I was talking about the nursery before Curtis, I was saying that what is Broly doing in the royal nursery? And it's like, it's basically he got upgraded from economy class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this. Bardock tries, dies, everything dies. Everything is destroyed with Frieza just gloating over the fact that he has killed a bunch of monkeys. And that's when Nappa and 2 other Saiyans get the report that a meteor has destroyed planet Vegeta.
Okay, I'm under the assumption that those 2 other guys probably died. And yes. Oh look, Sonic and Knuckles.
So yeah, you see like Goku's older brother Raditz with Prince Vegeta. With Raditz said, "Thank God we did not go back to Planet Vegeta." And Vegeta's like, "Oh, now I'll never be king."
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny because, like, when we first saw this in the cinemas, like when we saw Raditz the first time, I think a lot of people laughed because I think they've never seen a kid Raditz before.
No, I didn't laugh because I saw him in the manga.
But I just thought it was funny because I don't know why he reminds me of Sonic.
It's because like, it's his hair. It's his slick back hair.
Well, I guess it was lucky that we didn't go home.
The other thing is, they were like, they had a bit of a fit where it was like, oh, damn it, I'm never going to be king, and it's like, Vegeta, your entire family have been murdered, and such as, it's whatever. It's
like he even mentions that you
have a brother, and it's like, yeah, glad.
Oh yeah,
I
wonder if he got blown up too. Not like it
matters. Even Raditz was like,
none of that matters.
Yeah, even Raditz was like, oh yeah, my son might have.
He was low
my brother might have
he was
been
still sleeping in the nursing home. A total disgrace.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was funny because like you saw like Goku in Dragon Ball, and he had like a chubby look to him. Like these guys, they're sort of like, you know, the proper, like, you know, just I wouldn't say scrawny, but just different. They're just different. They look very different.
I think it's just because Toyon's design changed over time. Because like when it was starting.
Yeah, well, I think it's class. I prefer this. I prefer this version.
So after that, you get the 3 children getting some good shots of the movie with both Vegeta and Broly looking up to the sky, and you finally see Goku landing towards Earth. As the age goes forward, we then head to present day where Goku and Vegeta are training after the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, like that. It said 40 years, didn't it? Like so Goku and Vegeta are like nearly in their 50s now.
Goku would be in like Goku's like 40. Goku would be like 41, and Vegeta's 46.
Wow, Christ! Like they're old.
Yep. And so you see,
and they're fit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Saiyans do age slower. So you see Bulma, her daughter, and along with Beerus and Whis on the island, very far away from Wesley, like 1,000 miles away.
I find it a bit annoying that, don't get me wrong, I do like Whis, but when he's just eating and he's like, oh my god, this is so good, like that, it's just grating.
He's like that in the Japanese version though, so you can't complain though.
I know, but it's just I've not watched much of Super, and which, by the way, while this is happening, yeah, Beerus is napping as well, and he's like, keep it down, I'm trying to sleep. I do remember that bit.
Yeah. And they also had the remix of the Chala.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use that for just in case.
How rich?
Yeah, I wouldn't use it.
How rich is the Capsule Corporation? Because Bulma can literally afford private islands.
Well, they're the only company that does anything like this, though.
Yeah, they did take down the Pod Corporation.
No, there's no such thing as the Pod Corporation. That's only a legacy of Goku.
They got rid of Newman because he knew he was trying to steal secrets. He was going to jail.
Yes, that. So yeah, after when Beerus tells Goku and Vegeta to shut the fuck up, you see Goku eating and Whis questioning why Goku wants to get stronger, if he wants to become a destroyer or a god of destruction. With Goku then saying that the tournament power had opened his eyes to more powerful opponents out in all the universes, and he wants to do more.
Are you sure you're not trying to compensate for something, Goku?
What's compensate mean?
At this point, I've not watched a lot of Dragon Ball Super, and I did not know the ending for the Tournament of Power, but I did get told that Android 17 used his wish to bring back all the universes and stuff for this prize. So at this point, it's like I was thinking in my head, okay, where it's like this scene where it's like Goku saying, yeah, I need to eat more food and power up. I'm so pumped up. I can just imagine Vegeta in the background if they didn't wish for the universes to come back. It's like, Kakarot, like universes have been eradicated. What the hell's the matter with you?
Like, yeah, that would be the case.
Like, let's just ignore the fact that we've got Zeno, the god, the odd universe god, who can just basically say delete and an entire universe is just gone.
Yeah, so let's not forget
though, he can delete them on his iPad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's got an iPad.
Yes.
Wait, Caleb, is it a God pad? I can't remember.
Yes, God pad.
Oh, that's what it is. It's a God pad.
What happens if it crashes?
I assume like everything gets wiped.
Oh my god!
That would be really.
Godpad.exe is stopped.
Oh god! What if we had like a God computer? What was it that hits like everything gets hit with a blue screen of death? Does everyone just freeze in place?
Yeah, I guess Microsoft wishes that they were as good as Steve Jobs.
Universe11.exe has stopped working.
Zamasu.exe has stopped working.
Beerus.exe has stopped working.
No, Beerus.exe has deleted everything. Are you sure you want to delete every? Are you sure you want to put everything into Beerus?
Remove force recursively everything.
But yeah,
that's a command I try to avoid.
But yeah, after when Goku makes his statement, Whis asks Vegeta why he wants to get strong, and of course he mentions that he wants to fucking kill Lord Frieza because Goku brought him back. And then Vegeta makes the statement saying, why once Frieza then comes back?
Did they use the Earth Dragon Balls to do that? Like,
no. In the tournament, no. Goku basically did the same thing of what he did to get back to Earth for one day, but then after Frieza helping them win the tournament, Beerus was all like, "Yeah, fine, you can come back to life."
All right. So what? Just clicked his fingers and just like.
Yeah, basically.
Beerus can just revive people.
Yeah. So some of you.
Well, technically, Whis did it.
Yeah, that was Whis, but Beerus was like, "Bring him back." some of you guys are off topic. That's usually the case, but it'd be a very boring podcast if that was the case.
Yeah.
And with Vegeta then stating that when Frieza gets a new form, but Goku's like, I don't think so. I mean, he kind of owes us. And Vegeta's like saying, "You fucking idiot! You'll still kill us!" And goes, "Stop calling me an idiot!" He said, "I'll call you an idiot as many times as I want, idiot!"
I just love Goku's sort of like style of thinking. But it's like, what's Frieza like? Frieza owes us. It's like, what makes you think he'll like he could easily like break his promise? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Goku's like, what? No, Frieza. No, it's just so.
Frieza
like,
would never
exactly
do that again.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Trunks then brings up Bulma to let her know that they've had a thief. There's been a thief in her lab, and they've seemed to have taken the Dragon Balls and the Dragon Radar. With Vegeta making a remark saying that you should read time security in there. But then they find out that it's actually Frieza's men that have stolen the 6 Dragon Balls that Bulma has had.
No way.
Yes, way.
Exactly. It's unbelievable that this has truly happened.
It's almost as if bringing back the Lord of the Galaxy was a bad idea.
Exactly. But Goku, everyone's starting to wonder what Frieza wants for his wish. Vegeta thinking he wants immortality, but Goku thinks, I don't think he wants that. Maybe he wants something else. But Bulma then interjects in that she knows exactly what the last Dragon Ball is and tells him it's up in the Arctic. And Goku then states, we need to go and head over there. But then, of course, they ask Beerus if he wants to come, and Beerus like, no. No, he doesn't want to come. And then they leave Beerus to babysit Bulma while they go off to the Antarctic.
I made a joke here saying, like, that would be amazing if Beerus opened up his own, babysit. He became a babysitter.
He opened up his own nursery.
His own nursery, gotta say, hello there, welcome to Beerus's daycare. That's a daycare center where I, Lord Beerus, will look after your children. Witness how they behave in my presence. Well, shut up or I'll delete you. Come on, eat the baby food. Here comes the spaceship. Oh, come on, it's good. Now, let me try some. Hey, this is actually pretty good. And the baby tries to go, no, it's mine. You can't have it.
Yeah.
And there's no competitors like mine, because I've destroyed them.
Because I've acquired them.
And don't you dare compete or I'll destroy you too.
Exactly. So then after that, but Whis wonders what Bulma's wish is. Well, Goku wonders what Bulma's wish is, and she doesn't.
This is the one thing that annoyed me about this is the ridiculous reason for the Dragon Balls. Go on.
So Bulma states that she wants to look a little bit younger, and Goku then is like, "What? You waste a wish like that?" And Bulma says, "It wouldn't be that many. It'd be like 5 years." But we says, "Well, why just go 5? Why not make it an even decade?" With Bulma then stating that basically, if she wished for 10 years to be 10 years younger, people would question her if she was if she had plastic surgery. And at the same time, Kikuno, one of Frieza's men, states that that not only do they have the Dragon Ball radar, that they have the 6 Dragon Balls, and they're already on their way to find the 7th. With Frieza being chuffed about this, and Kikuno starting to wonder, what is Lord Frieza's wish? And asks if it will be for an immortal body, with Frieza stating that when he spent his life in hell, that he does not want an immortal body, which I don't understand why. Okay, this is like a weird thing with the movie, because if you've seen Super, Frieza wasn't in his mech form, he was in his normal form. So I don't know why I don't know why they made him Mecha Frieza again.
Maybe it's a contradictory issue.
Maybe, but it wasn't even all that long after when the Frieza episode aired. It was like back in 2017, which is weird. But yeah, Frieza states that he doesn't want an immortal body because the fact being that he doesn't want to have a life. He doesn't want to live a life forever, still having the scars of when Goku and Vegeta has beaten him time and time again. With Kikuno then wondering if he wants to take no damage, but Frieza goes, well, where's the fun in that? And Kikuno does not get the wish. But of course, Frieza's right-hand woman, Berry Blue, knows exactly what Frieza wants, and it's to be taller. And Frieza then acknowledging what Berry Blue just said, saying that that's true. And Frieza wanted to be 5 centimeters taller. But then Kikino then makes the astute assumption. Oh, I just dropped some real quick. Makes the astute assumption that, well, if Frieza wanted to be tall, why not just go back to his second form? And Frieza does not want to be taller in his second form. He wants to be tall in his base form and his golden form. And then he asks, why by 10 centimeters? And says, any more than that, someone would notice. Don't you understand? I want to look like it. I want to make it look natural, like I'm still growing.
So yeah, that was the thing so the dumb reasons behind the Dragon Balls being used now. I mean, yeah, what was it? Puar wanted panties, and then it's just later you've got all these different wishes they've used from the dragon and such. I could just imagine the dragon going, if they did get those wishes, going, seriously, guys. You're wishing for I thought we got past this, especially with the pig.
No, I think they think, oh, finally, an actual, genuine wish. Something as grand as bring back a planet. I was getting sick of that. So during that time, we then meet 2 new characters, Lemo and Chilai, and they're being tasked to head off into space to find warriors to help Frieza.
Lemon.
Yeah. So yes, with that, we then learn a bit about Chilai, that she actually stole a space pod, and to make sure that she was wanted by the law, so that way she wouldn't, so no man would dare interact with her. As they keep going further into space, Chilai wonders why Frieza's got like an old man or woman like trying to find people, and he said like Frieza must like be not doing too good of a job, and I've heard he's a shorty, and Lemon said, don't ever say that. He's killed for a lot worse. He even murdered a guy because his breath stunk. Yeah. So then they come across
I can just imagine how that goes, like, oh, hello there, Jeffrey, and oh my god, what have you been eating? And it's like, oh, I had garlic last night, sir.
Yeah. Oh, Frieza, why did you destroy the entire left quadrant of your place? Somebody took a massive shit, and it was totally unacceptable. And they didn't the place.
And they didn't even flush the toilet.
It was a mess! Who had Taco Bell?
Who had Space Bell?
I'll be right back.
But yes, all right. Back to
I've experienced a lot of things in my time, but this was just unacceptable.
But now,
this was just crazy. Sorry. Anyways.
It's fine. Anyway, they receive a distress beacon on planet Bompa. And lo and behold, it happens to be Paragus, who's been using the ship he was on to get their attention. With them looking around, they haven't found anything but the wrecked ship, and Paragus then runs toward them, shouting, "Don't leave!" and then falls on his face.
Yeah, I mean, my god, like 40 years on that hellhole.
Yep.
Eating nothing but spider gunk.
Yeah, exactly. Spider gunk. Yep, that's exactly accurate. But yeah, they end up coming to find...
I just find it so strange how they managed to even keep their clothes on.
Yeah, you'd think that by the time you'd think that the... Well, actually, wait. The clothing was actually very elasticated, so if anything, they wouldn't have to worry about...
Actually, do you have a shot of Broly here?
It depends. What do you mean?
On this scene. A Broly in this scene.
I don't have one particularly. I like the one like the one where like you mean like he hasn't got his shirt on and all that.
Yeah, where he comes charging in.
I don't have.
Yeah, drops kicks a spider.
It didn't look. Let's just say it didn't exactly look very good. It looked.
A thing that can be pointed out if you're talking about the clothes. If you notice, Broly in this scene actually stole Beats' clothes.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's wearing Beats' pants.
Yeah, he's wearing Beats' pants and boots.
Yeah.
So that's where he got his outfit.
So yeah,
his clothes didn't grow with him. He stole Beats' clothes. Yeah, and Paragus stole Beats' little bag, like the bag around Paragus' waist. There was the bag Beat.
Yeah. I guess I mean Paragus probably wanted some new clothes as well, but I guess Broly beats him to it.
Well, to be fair, though, would you really want to see a grown adult in like kids' clothing?
Yeah, well, Well, it's just obviously like there must have been a point where, like, seriously, like, how long can we keep this shit up? Like,
I mean,
there was probably like a point where Bardock was like, "Wow, do you know what it is? I totally regret going to this planet now. I should have just found another wife and just made another kid. Like, my life would have been so much easier."
Probably not. Frieza would have probably found him. If anything.
There's a point.
Yeah, like even if like he ran away, like he'll probably be found out.
Yeah, he just must have like been thinking to himself like, "Don't worry, son, I still love you, even though we're in a fucking hellhole."
But yes, they find Paragus on the planet, and the giant bug. One of the giant bugs is coming there, but Paragus shouting for Broly to come, and he comes charging in, taking out the beast.
John.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, right? I don't actually see anything on the screen for some reason. Wait 1 second. Wait. Sorry, it's just for some reason it went stuck on play for me for some reason.
It did that for me too, but I just refreshed and it was fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Sorry, John.
Yeah, YouTube's weird. Sorry about that. Anyway, they fight.
There you go. Thank you.
Broly then appears, and they're like shocked at how strong Broly is, and they ask him, "Get on the fucking ship!" So then.
Also, just an observation here: is Paragus in this movie the first time we've canonically seen a Saiyan with white hair, or like their hair changing color because of old age?
Yes.
Okay, because I know some like non-canon and fan stuff had done that, but this is the first canonical thing of a white-haired Saiyan.
Yes, unless you want to count Ultra Instinct.
Super Saiyan Blanco.
Yes, that thing, Super Saiyan Blanco, that was a thing for a while. Anyway, they get them on the ship, and Chilai is interacting with Broly, and he's just looking at what she's got, and he actually wants it, but doesn't understand how to eat it, and he has not very good manners, because well, his father is not exactly a very good enough role model.
Yeah, well, again, like he hasn't spoken to anyone else other than his dad. I mean,
yeah, that's
like,
true.
That's the extent of his social skills.
Yep. So finally, they arrive on Frieza's ship with Chilai and Lemo being nervous, Paragus looking a little bit concerned about the whole thing, and Broly not really paying attention.
Yeah, just doesn't care.
So yeah, as you can see, yeah, he has got like beat pants. Just fucking ripped them off him.
Yep.
Straight up stole them, and
I feel bad for the view he would have had to get those pants.
It was probably just Paragus that fucking took them and was like, "You don't need these anymore. These are mine. My pants." So yes, Frieza rewards Chilai and Lemo with money, but we'll get to that though. And Frieza questions Broly about his power and if he's gone out of control and why he doesn't have a tail. And he mentions that, and Paragus mentioned that when he did become a great, he was completely out of control. And Frieza says, "Oh really? You've brought this danger onto my ship." In which Paragus then shows the remote he had for the collar, which now that I think about it, where did he get this? Where did he get a shock collar from?
That's a good point.
Well, I'm more curious as to how Broly hasn't managed to get that thing off yet.
Apparently he's not. Apparently he's strong, but not strong enough to rip off something that's stuck to his neck.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be able to just bend it with just his fingers, like, you know, just kind of like, I don't know. Like, do you remember the sweets that you used to have when you were little?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think I do.
Yeah, so sort of like that. Just bite it. Just go, just like, there you go. Gone.
Yeah, but I think the problem is if he tried taking it off, I'm pretty sure Paragus would shock him.
Yeah. No, bad Broly.
Yeah, exactly. So Frieza acknowledges that, and then goes on to state that King Vegeta's son, Prince Vegeta the Fourth, is alive, and Paragus, realizing that Vegeta is alive, wants to make sure he gets his full revenge if he can't get revenge on the man that exiled him and his son, he'll get revenge on the son of the man who exiled both of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. With Frieza now wondering if this would be is actually a good omen or not. He then realizes that this will make things much more interesting. They head off. Both Broly and Paragus head off into the cafeteria, where when they go and meet Chilai and Lemo again. They go and have some food. With Chilai wondering why Broly has this rag, and then he completely snaps, saying that it stays on.
Yeah.
With Broly mentioned that it's actually important with Paragus telling him to not interact with him being like father of the material.
Like Broly, we're not here to speak.
Oh, hey,
why is shut your mouth?
Father of the year, Paragus.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was the thing. So you're up to the bit where they're eating at the dinner table, are they?
Yes.
That was one thing. What did Frieza pay Chilai and Limo in? Cigars?
Pens.
Pens. Yeah.
Pens.
Wow! I never got so many pens in my life.
Oh, how about the pen dispensers?
I remember the pens. I can just imagine that, it's like, Lord Frieza, we've conquered this planet. Very well. Here's your reward. Lord Frieza, no. Lord Frieza, you've given us Crayola crayons. Yes, that is your reward. Enjoy them. We were expecting more money, and oh my god, you smell like more rouge.
Well, look at the bright side. Now you can draw your own money. But yeah, so this big drunk guy is hitting on Chilai, making things a little bit uncomfortable. Let's just say that. And Lemo's trying to say, hey, come on, guy, how about me and you get a drink? And so Broly's not happy and tries killing the motherfucker right in front of them. And then showing off the amber eyes that he will later show on. Unless he's actually one of Xehanort's men. If anyone gets that reference, good for you.
Oh, by the way, one more thing when they did find Broly on the ship, when he's looking at the chocolate bar of Chilai and such like that, okay? I can imagine he isn't looking at the chocolate bar. He's looking at Chilai.
Wow, look at you being creative with that one. But then Paragus then shocks Broly to make him stop. Of course, he's in absolute agony and pain. Chilai tells him that you're a fucking awful father, and Paragus is like, I don't need to listen to you, he's my son. Which then she uses her 100% sneak in from Skyrim to steal the remote.
So, a point I've heard.
In front of his face, yeah.
About that collar. People keep asking why doesn't Broly just break the collar or whatever. It could be like a lot of shock collars like that, at least if you're talking like real ones, are designed to where they'll go off if they're broken or attempted to be broken.
So that would make sense.
Maybe that's why Broly never just rips the thing off, because maybe it's designed where it'll just shock the crap out of him in full force if he tries to break it.
That is a good point,
actually.
actually.
Made one on a planet of spiders and weird dog-looking things.
Maybe maybe it was on the ship. Maybe I want to say it was maybe on the ship, but even that's maybe stretching a bit.
Yeah, maybe something like a prisoner collar.
Paragus is a brilliant scientist.
He may have been an average fighter, but he was a brilliant scientist. Anyway, Berry Blue comes in to tell Paragus that Lord Frieza requests him and only him. What's the fucking name of the front of the main I guess you can call it the captain's room. No, what the fuck's it called? No, whatever. He goes and tells him to go and meet Lord Frieza in the fucking captain, his room basically.
Throne room, I suppose.
Yeah, let's just go with that. With Chilai then showing that she has the remote and then breaks the fucking thing. And
in hindsight, she probably should have just kept it just in.
Maybe. So then we get another scene with Broly enjoying food and actually then first ever getting to experience his first taste of water. And then
this is something strange, right? He says he doesn't like wearing the armor because it makes it hard to move. Yeah, he decided to put on a fucking onesie.
Well, it's not. It's a shirt. It's a shirt. It's not a onesie.
But how you see how tight it is? Like that would be hard to move.
You do realize we have shirts like that in the real world, right?
Yeah, I know that, and that's what I mean. It's hard to move.
Well, to be fair, the armor looks pretty much more difficult to move because of the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
But yes.
That's not the dog's tail.
Very funny. But yes, Broly then tells them about why he has this fur and about the past. And then tells him what happened to his friend Bar, with his father then shooting the ear of it and Bar never being the same again. Broly wears it.
Can we keep him, Dad? No.
No! And then he becomes a Super Saiyan. I'm generally surprised Broly didn't become a Super Saiyan because of that.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, Broly, is that thing you're wearing is actually a giant ear? Ew, take it off, Broly. It stays on.
But yeah, Broly wears it to remember his friend. But they realize that his father's not exactly a very good guy, and they realize that Broly is not exactly the fighting type and doesn't like fighting. And they tell him that they don't need to listen to his father, with Broly then stating that that's not a very nice thing to say, he is my father. And while he is true, it's still a very dark situation he's in. So then we cut back to Earth, where those two guys are trying to get the Dragon Ball, and they find it by knocking it into a ravine. Frieza then states that Prince Vegeta is all Broly and his, but the one named Goku is Frieza's alone. And then, oh god, fucking damn it. I was doing so well with names. Kikino rushes in telling them that they found the last Dragon Ball, and they head off towards Earth. At the same time, Goku, Whis, Vegeta, and Bulma have finally made it up into the Antarctic, and are ready to set off to go and get the Dragon Balls back.
There's a thing. We can really teleport anywhere that he wants. Why the hell did they need the ship?
I don't know.
Because ship.
Because Whis and Beerus have been shown to just not use their powers to help them.
Yeah, they're really lazy.
Unless it's absolutely mandatory.
Yep. Like the time where Whis turned back time. Like twice to save the Earth and save Guasu.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the universe that sort of like makes you think, like, you know, like, why is everybody being so careful? Like, you know, they have the Dragon Balls so they can wish anybody back to life whenever they want. They have the Whis so they can turn back time whenever they want. They have Beerus who can pretty much destroy anything they want, and they're friends with him, so, you know, chances are they won't find anyone that's stronger than him. You know, they're pretty much sorted.
Not really, because it's been stated like that Jiren is actually stronger than the Gods of Destruction.
Oh wow.
Yep.
But is Broly stronger than Jiren?
Well, he definitely gave Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta a run for his money, and even pushed like Super Saiyan Gogeta to go blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can get to that once we get further. Yeah. But I mean, like, I still think there's no excuse for how strong he is.
What, Jiren or Broly?
Broly. Like,
I don't know. I mean, you gotta remember there's like Saiyans and there's Zenkais, and they get stronger as they fight.
That's true, but I mean, that drastic, like, if Broly ever reached Super Saiyan Blue, then he would just be on a whole different level. If, like, he's in Super Saiyan 1 plus his Berserk form or whatever that's called.
He has Wrath.
Wrath form, that was it.
Wrath,
his Wrath.
Then Super Saiyan, then full power Super Saiyan.
Which full power Super Saiyan is kind of like Wrath and Super Saiyan stacked.
Yeah, but we'll get to that though. We'll get to where we get to that.
Yeah, let's not go off topic again.
Post synopsis, we can talk about the debates like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Anyway, they land. The guys in the ship take off in the ship, and Vegeta just fucking shoots it, and you get the Goku death stare.
Oh, that part.
Goku's like, give us back the Dragon Balls right now!
If you know what's good for you. Like that part was
Frieza then flies out of his ship to then open up the sky with a flippin' energy attack.
Tiny energy attack that looked like the size of a toothpick.
Yes, but it's still up the heavens, technically. Vegeta then acknowledging that there's something not right about the ship.
Well, no, he basically senses something on the ship, and Goku's like, well, it's not Frieza, but whoever it is, his power's crazy.
Yep. Like,
so even when he's not really concentrating or trying to like I don't know, increase his power, he's basically a very threatening foe.
Yeah.
That even Goku and Vegeta are sort of like, oh wow, shit. There's somebody on the ship, and his power is absurd.
Yeah, actually, a little bit of this is a quick tangent, okay? But if anyone knew about the Raging Blast 2 DLC pre-order bonuses, Vegeta had like an armor similar to Broly's color scheme, which was black and green.
Yeah, he did actually.
Which is kind of strange. Maybe Raging Blast knew what was coming.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that was the one thing I just wanted to say. Anyway, they land on the ship with Goku and Vegeta staring down the new enemy, and Broly, Frieza, and Paragus descending off the ship. With Paragus not exactly too happy to see the fact being that Prince Vegeta is alive.
Yes, and he looks very similar to King Vegeta.
Well, I mean, Goku's similar to his father, so...
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things.
Except for the fact that Goku's not a brilliant scientist.
Yes. He doesn't even know what repugnant means.
Yeah. So then then Frieza takes the Dragon Balls from his men and doesn't acknowledge what Goku says about what his wish is. But then Bulma then asks why are they not like just trying to get the Dragon Balls back, and Frieza says, well, that's the problem with warriors like them. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. But then Frieza then introduced Broly, and Paragus comes up towards him to introduce himself. And then Frieza saying that these Saiyans have been actually looking forward to actually meeting them, and that his men found him left alone on the planet, and they would have died if it weren't for the fact being that they showed up. Broly,
yes, and they're not particularly happy that they were left stranded on a fucking hellhole for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
So this angle of why they don't like Vegeta and Goku makes more sense.
Yep. So yes, Broly's starting to get more angry, and Paragus then commands Broly to attack. Broly starts going berserk and charges at the Prince. The Prince then states this will be this will make for a good warm-up, and the fight begins. Broly charging after Vegeta. Yeah, do your
I'll make the sound effects. Nah, I'm playing. I won't do that.
As the fight goes on, Frieza acknowledges that Broly is definitely strong and has some potential, but he doesn't have really that much combat. Doesn't really have that much combat experience because, well, his father's not exactly very tough.
Not to mention, they did have sparring matches and stuff, but literally, Broly's ever only fought one person. That, unless you're counting like the insect things and the dog long neck. Are they the long neck dogs? It's so weird.
I don't think.
That's another thing. Not getting off into the tangent, but like, Broly's only ever fought one person. That means Broly's power that he has is just like entirely latent potential.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what the whole thing is. Broly's power is more about what's hidden within. It's similar to Gohan.
Yeah, but one thing you gotta understand is like when it comes to people like Vegeta and Goku and that, they probably had like instances where they were able to have respites. You know, like they were able to sort of like once they've had their fights and stuff, and they're sort of like their what you call it, like their due diligence, like what they're like the basically once they've had their fights and stuff, then every now and again they're able to have a relax in time and to sort of like refresh themselves.
We're saying for Broly, he's never actually had a period in his life where he's not under the constant threat of dying.
Yeah. So basically,
that's true.
So if he ever wanted to eat, even to eat, he had to kill something. Do you know what I mean? He had to kill one of those giant spider things. And maybe like one of those giant dogs as well. Like that was their only sort of like source of food.
Yes.
So it's like,
but to be fair though, they don't exactly pose much of a threat though to him, because literally, what happens though? He kicks
now they
one.
Don't.
Yeah, of course not now. So like, it's not really much of a do or die situation anymore. But now it is when fighting against someone like Vegeta. But of course, Broly actually is putting up a bit of a fight on Vegeta, and Vegeta starts to take it up a notch. And unleashes his...
Vegeta started to get pissed off that he's holding his own to the point that Vegeta had to go Super Saiyan.
I don't know if I like or dislike how this movie kind of follows the recent trope where any form between Super Saiyan 1 and God just doesn't exist.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's more a case of when you really think about it though, like for Goku and Vegeta, it's not Super Saiyan, it's Mastered Super Saiyan, which is probably like much more powerful than Super Saiyan.
I know as far as the Tournament of Power arc is concerned, the only reason they had Super Saiyan 2. In the Tournament of Power arc, they didn't use Super Saiyan 3 just because of how hard it is to animate that.
But I don't think it, well, yeah, that
he went Super Saiyan 3 once in the Tournament of Power, but it was just a still frame. And then there's like the scene where he's first fighting Jiren, and he's cycling through all its forms. Like he goes base form, Super Saiyan 2, then skips 3 and goes to God.
It's weird.
That's just because
it's weird though because that was like an hour-long feature, so you'd think like they would actually still go all the way with that.
Yeah, it's just I think it's they just don't like animating Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3 appeared several times in Super, but I don't think it's ever appeared once where he's actually doing a lot of moving around. It's always just Goku standing still.
Well, the way I understood Super Saiyan was the fact that obviously you can go Super Saiyan, but like you can obviously stretch the limits of that form, if that makes sense.
Oh,
but
so
you can never sort of like exceed a Super Saiyan status. You can only like
the case and point to that though is in Super's manga, Goku uses Super Saiyan 3 a lot more often.
Yeah, in the manga he does.
Yeah, like he used it against Topo, he used it against Android 17 when he was going to recruit 17. He uses Super Saiyan 3 a whole lot more often in the manga than he did in the
used
anime.
it against Trunks still, but he used did he use it in the I can't remember if he used it in the anime. I think he did.
He did in the anime, but that's a different topic though, so I won't get into that. But
yes.
Yeah, he did. He used it against Trunks, and he used it in the anime. But yeah, that's just I don't guess I mind, but Super Saiyan 2 and 3 just practically don't exist anymore.
So the way I see it, the way I understand personally is that they can get stronger in forms in terms of Super Saiyans, but I think it takes a bigger toll on their bodies every time they do. I mean, Super Saiyan 3, Goku rarely wanted to use because it really like takes a lot out of him apparently. So he tries to avoid it as much as he can unless he's desperate. So like the way I see it now that they've detained Super Saiyan God and then Blue as well, that they probably just thought, well, if they can't do Super Saiyan, then I might as well just go to the next level instead.
Instead of burning the stamina on Super Saiyan 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's how I see it. But that's just me. Could be wrong, completely wrong. Anyways.
Oh. Wait, what? Why is he mute?
He's probably talking to somebody.
Our host is mute. We didn't anticipate for this. Abort.
Okay. We'll talk about something else. Broccoli. Do you like You like broccoli, don't you?
What the hell are you talking about broccoli for?
Oh, well, sorry. We're trying to like distract the audience.
Sorry, I literally needed to go to the bathroom, so I just let you guys talk for a bit. So yeah.
Okay. Right.
So yes.
No bother.
Anyway, Vegeta.
Basically, we basically concluded that the reason why they don't use Super Saiyan 2 or 3 is because they're just different levels, the same form, but it takes a lot of like stamina and toll.
Yeah, that's actually the reason.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Anyway, Vegeta then shows off the legendary Super Saiyan to Broly and Paragus, which they are kind of stunned, but Broly's not backing down from a fight and goes head in. But of course, Super Saiyan Vegeta's not gonna back down with a fight and smacks him in the face, putting Broly in his place, showing him just how tough he really is. But Broly is starting to adapt even faster. Vegeta even acknowledging this and getting smacked into mountains.
Yeah.
With Broly actually
getting
pushing
his ass handed to him.
With Broly smacking him through mountains, they clash fist even more, and it gets.
Damn it! He's learning as he fights.
Yep. Vegeta starts dodging Broly's onslaught of blast and charges away from the fight, flying past Goku as Goku's getting excited that even this new Saiyan is pushing Vegeta to go to Super Saiyan, and he's still in his base form. Vegeta's not taking that down lightly, and for the first time ever becomes Super Saiyan God in anime form. And Broly is startled by this, because for one thing, I don't think Broly can sense ki, and if he could sense ki, he definitely can't sense God's ki.
Yeah.
So he is terrified by this new revelation. And of course, Vegeta, he's now being more nonchalant about things, and starts blasting Broly back. Broly is sweating, he's trying his hardest to fight back, but Vegeta just smacks him into more mountains. Paragus feeling defeated that, well, his plan is sort of, well, backfiring, and thinks that this is the end. Frieza being disappointed, and Paragus trying to get Broly back onto the ship, and he's not exactly listening. He tries to use the remote and finds out it's not there anymore.
What the hell? Who stole my remote and when?
What the heck?
Broly is now starting to lose his shit more, and Vegeta.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my father made me sleep in the closet. What the heck?
Yeah, we'll see. So obviously, this is probably the point where Paragus was pretty much in a situation where, in the past, he probably Broly went berserk once, but since then he's always been able to control it using the collar.
Yes.
But now at this point, he's probably panicking because now he doesn't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
He doesn't know what's going to happen because at this point,
that's what happens when you have a collar, but you don't keep them on a leash.
Yeah, I think it comes down to more the fact that this is what happens when you rely on technology. Damn technology!
Damn you, Microsoft!
Damn you, Capsule Soft!
Maybe he should have had a universal remote as a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have had a plan B.
Can he just dash over to like West City and buy a universal remote and pair it with the collar?
maybe he should just went. Maybe he should have ran up to Broly and like take off his belt. Broly!
So no, not again! Like
boy!
So what, he becomes Mr. Wilson?
Get your ass on the ship now!
So what, he becomes Mr. Wilson? Broly!
I'm giving you 5 across the ass!
Oh no, Paragus! Oh no!
Anyway.
Shut your mouth!
Anyway, getting back on topic, Vegeta's about to finish off Broly and fires off what I think is a Big Bang attack. Could be. Maybe it's a God Big Bang attack. And Broly starts descending into the ocean.
Well, it works like a beam, so I don't know.
Yeah. But after that, Broly starts powering up and starts going into what will be known as into the Wrath state. Well, actually, wait, no, he's not in the Wrath state yet, but he's getting close to it.
No, this is what I call passing the kidney stone.
After that, Broly fires a blast that if it landed, could have probably destroyed the entire Earth.
I wish it hit the moon and just destroyed it. Or, like, go through it. That would have been cool.
Vegeta then realizes he has to go all in and punches Broly, but it does nothing. Broly then goes on the offense again and giving God Vegeta a run for his money. Frieza is astonished by what is happening. Paragus thinks that this is probably a state where he's retained the power of the great ape, but still retain his speed and agility. But the downside is Broly is now uncontrollable and is now starting to wreak havoc. Vegeta has been completely pushed back, and Broly is about to make his attack, but then someone else steps into the fray. Goku makes his move. And
I do like the little bit where Goku is starting to do his warm-up bit. He like does a little bit of a jog and like he's just limbering up before he decides to then.
Yeah,
fight.
I love this. I love the fight here, and like just the song as well, which just all goes so well.
Yep.
Kakarot.
Yeah, ironic enough, I'm playing that right now.
Yeah.
But now, because Goku's now Luna, Broly is now showing off the Wrath state. With a good few close-ups of the eyes, he breaks the collar with his with the increase in his body, and Goku...
If you notice that Goku almost has a little bit of a Wrath state himself.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
They both get ready to charge at each other and collide fists. They end up going around fighting each other. Broly kicks him and Goku fires off Kamehameha. Dodges it, fires off energy blast, and punches Goku through a flipping iceberg.
Yeah, that was the thing I liked, is that they did get like a point of view of Broly as he's just flying along. Like you see from his perspective what he's doing.
Well, what I find cool was there's like, I feel like there's little like bits from like the original movies, like Dragon Ball Broly. Like, do you know when he punches Goku in like the iceberg and does that huge like spherical sort of like dent?
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of when Broly got Vegeta by the head and slammed him into the wall and did the exact same thing.
That is true. Anyway.
So I noticed little snippets like that.
Yeah, that is true. You can look at it like that. Broly starts charging towards Goku, punches it through the iceberg, and starts powering up even more. And Goku decides, Goku then takes it up a notch and goes Super Saiyan, and they hit, and the fight continues on. Goku managing to get past him and keep moving around the place, moving faster and faster. The fight keeps going.
I love that picture. Go back. That one, yes, that was a good picture.
He's like,
he's right behind me, isn't he?
This also follows the Dragon Ball trope, like, oh, Vegeta lost to Super Saiyan God? Might as well start a Super Saiyan 1.
Yeah, I think we should Photoshop like something like Bill Cosby behind him or something, or Michael Jackson.
That's always been a trope that never made sense to me. Like, I mean, I guess Goku's warming up, but it's like Vegeta lost in his God form, so You should have started a bit higher than that.
But to be fair, though, like, Vegeta didn't exactly get much of a chance to fight Broly. Like, Goku just like saying, nope, my turn.
Yeah, that's true.
So then the fight continues on. Broly's giving Goku a flippin' hell of a ride now. He's starting to get ready to warm up as they both head up to charge each other. Goku finally becoming a god. Throwing Broly to the ground as Broly charges towards him and somehow paralyzes Broly with his ki. Goku then acknowledges that, well, on Earth, we like to live together in peace and harmony.
Fucking peace and harmony!
Although that's not always been the case, with him like remembering his past fights and acknowledging that Broly is definitely not an enemy that he can stop fighting any time. But of course, it doesn't exactly go that well, and Broly actually uses his ki to paralyze Goku and socks him around the jaw. And
again, he's learning as he fights. And then Goku fucking, like, body slams him to the ground.
Yep. Kikano then says, maybe we should get the ship out of here. And Free says, yeah, that's probably for the best idea. And gives him the Dragon Balls. Broly powering up even more, giving God Goku an even harder time than before. With Chia and Lemon watching from the ship, they realize that the kind, innocent...
service.
I mean, that wasn't what I was thinking, but sure, why not?
But that's what everybody saw.
I
mean, that's what everyone saw when they first saw Chila just exist.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't include the flipping where she moves the Saiyan armor and all that. You gotta remember that, I didn't do that. So yeah, they acknowledge that he's not the kind boy and wish they could do something to help him. With Broly still charging forth, Paragus is reason that, oh fuck, what happens if he dies? Then what?
The last 40 years has been a fucking waste of my time. Oh my god!
Goku then charges him with a ball of red energy, but Broly then discards it and slams Goku to the ground.
I also like to make a light note that Broly has started to like get bigger.
Yes.
As of this point, he's like started to get to the point where I think Broly's foot is bigger than like Goku's like
torso,
head, torso basically.
And as the fight goes on, as Broly continues to slam him, throws him into ice and chucks him. Goku is literally probably close to death at this point, from the way he looks.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part. Just sort of like he just grabs him by the foot and it just starts fucking like no etiquette, no sort of like cool, interesting Tai Chi technique. He just gets him by a foot and just fucking slams him back and forth, then grabs his head and fucking grinds his face on ice. And Goku's just lying there like, oh, that really hurts.
That was the thing about this, because after like Broly slamming Goku all over the place, here's the thing about this, okay? And this is a really tidbit that I'm doing, and I know John was already saying, well, what are they going to do about it? Where were all the other Z fighters in all of this?
Well, if you think about Piccolo, what he says, he's like pretty much saying like, I would come to help, but
there's
honestly,
no point.
I think I would be in the way. Mostly.
Yeah, but at least even if it was something like what was Krillin doing? Was he too busy with his police business, and Gohan was too busy on his scholar career, and Tien was learning how to miss-maul with the tri-beam?
Yes.
Well, no, they probably sent them Broly, and they were like, oh fuck that, Goku, they could deal with that. I'm not even gonna try.
Monoculo, I need to go home and have sex with my wife.
It sounded like you went Canadian there at the end of it.
You're under arrest, eh? Destructo disc!
Anyway, Piccolo is using his telepathy to talk to Goku and said...
Wait, you have a wife? Yeah, she's 18. Right, you're under arrest. No, wait!
Broly having a smirk on his face as he's starting to descend more into madness.
Yeah, a little bit of a classic Broly there.
Goku is finally starting to take this more seriously and transcends to blue. And then the fight continues on as we get some actual really good CG.
Oh, what a picture. Pow! Right in the face.
Yep. So Goku and Broly are now duking it out, fighting in lava, by the way!
Yeah, and Broly's like, you just bit my hand. Oh, and then he shows Goku how to do a real spirit bomb.
And chucks it down onto the ground as it destroys the area.
Yes, and turns the entire Iceland into a lava land.
Yeah, you basically just go to a different Mario level.
Did Broly just cause global warming?
Yes.
Yes, well, that's
literally what happened.
Well, I guess we can confirm that global warming doesn't then.
Yeah, exactly. Goku.
It's not the oil. It's just Goku and Broly's fighting.
Exactly. Why has no one been figuring this out? Anyway, Goku then punches his way out and then heads towards Broly. Paragus then finally realizes, oh god, Vegeta was right. Why did I not listen to him?
Yeah.
As the fight continues, Goku says...
Here's the funny thing, alright? Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan God form at this point is still sort of like able to take on Broly, so it's not like they're like Broly is like necessarily a freak of nature, do you know what I mean?
No,
but obviously I understand
I think
Paragus thinking that, wow, if he's like, you know, this strong, then, you know, like
he could actually be a threat to the universe. Yeah,
because like think about it, okay, Vegeta and Goku spent years like training and stuff to get to this point, and like to the point where they were training with gods and angels and stuff. Like Broly is able to take them on by living on a fucking rock. Like imagine what he'd be like if he was actually trained properly.
Yep, that's what Goku wants to do at the end of the movie, but we'll get to that though. So yes, Goku then sends Broly flying into a mountain. Frieza then realizing that this is not good. You think it's over. Paragus acknowledging, saying that, yeah, I think it's over. And Frieza remembering what happened when Goku got completely angry, as when Frieza killed Krillin, he became the legendary Super Saiyan. Frieza then says, should we put that to the test, and shoots Paragus. And then Frieza puts on his best act ever and says that Paragus is died. And Broly then snaps.
Yes.
He completely loses everything. The only person in the world that he had, the only family he had left, is gone, and he transforms into a Super Saiyan. Not just a normal.
Yeah. And may I add that the music for this is spot on.
Yeah, that's what's playing right now. That's what's playing right now, actually, on stream.
Is it? Oh,
yes.
Cool.
Hold on 1 second.
I've been playing like the soundtrack as we've been going through. So then Goku then is ready to take on Broly, but Broly is not gonna go down. Frieza is ecstatic by Broly's new power. Broly then fires off a massive amount of energy as it hits every single area. Goku deflects everything, but he's not.
This scene reminds
going all over the fucking place.
Yeah, this scene reminds me of again the Broly movie, because Broly did that as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did it when his energy was overflowing.
Yes, and he had to sort of like do a fucking shockwave of energy because he just couldn't handle it. And basically was destroying everything. Like I think it was going like around the planet that they were fighting on. So I think it was like just around the area that they were in. I think not around it. I think it was more like the area that he was definitely around. So yeah, Broly fires off a giant energy ball heading towards Goku, and Goku flies off. Vegeta then realizing that this fight is not something that neither of them can take on by themselves. So then Vegeta goes blue and they charge in to fight Broly. Broly giving him a one hell of a ride. Charging up and discharging energy. Just taking a hit and like just grabbing Goku by the foot and throwing them against Vegeta.
Yep.
And then just fucking...
As they dodge energy blast, Broly then fires more energy, and Goku and Vegeta decide to fire off a Gallic Gun and Kamehameha combo. But of course,
golden Gallic Gun.
Yeah, I don't know why it's golden, okay?
Also, Vegeta's armor got destroyed like instantaneously.
To be fair, like Goku's clothes got wrecked. Like his shirt got wrecked from just deflecting like the energy ball.
If I recall, in like the uncut version of the movie, there is a scene of Vegeta's armor getting destroyed.
There's an uncut version of the movie?
Well, the uncut hasn't been released yet. If I recall, there was a deleted scene of Vegeta's armor getting destroyed.
Oh my god, there's more content.
Yeah, you heard, like, when this movie came out, they trimmed it down a lot, because I think all the footage together was probably around 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
Holy shit, I hope they do, like, what they did with Lord of the Rings.
Well, like...
there was a lot of cut footage for this movie.
What, you mean, like, actually put all, like, the lead scenes and all that into the movie itself, and you don't have to, like, watch the lead scenes off of the menu?
Yeah, was it a complete thing, or was it, like, sketches as well?
I don't know. I don't know if it actually got to complete.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to find out when it's released in May. Anyway, Broly charges towards Goku and Vegeta, taking back that blast. As he chases after them, Goku and Vegeta fly past Frieza, and Broly then goes to attack Frieza himself.
Oh, that was funny as hell. That.
Now this is what we like to call karma.
Also, can we address something real quick? If you've watched the trailer, if you remember this scene, Broly
he had black hair, didn't he?
Yes. So the trailer does a contradiction that makes it look like that Frieza may have been training Broly, but no, that doesn't happen. So yes, after that, after Frieza gets beaten around the place, Goku then teleports towards Piccolo. And it's about time.
Because they realize they can't. They realize that 2 Super Saiyan God Blues, it's not good enough to take on the Super Saiyan Broly.
Yep.
Like, wow. Can you imagine what an Ultra Instinct Broly would be like?
No one be able to win. Broly would destroy everything.
I'll wait until the end for this, but I have a few theories, and one theory that kind of came up on this. But I'll wait until the end of this.
That's fine.
You know, so.
Anyway, Goku asked Vegeta if he remembers Fusion. Vegeta remembers that Trunks told him about it, or he's at least seen it. And he realizes that, what do you mean that stupid dance thing? Goku goes, yeah, it's Fusion. You got. And Vegeta does not want to do it, because Goku then states, like, come on, it's only for 30 minutes and all that. He says, do we have to do these stupid poses? It's the only way to win. And I'd rather die.
I love that. I just love that part where it's like, there have to be some other way. At least tell me there's a way to fuse without making these stupid dance moves. It's just like
Goku states, like, do you really want everyone to die? And Bruce says, oh, damn it, fine, teach me everything. But then cut back to Frieza again, this shit kicked in.
Oh wow. That's a picture, that is.
Yeah, this is
he is being officially kicked in his...
He's being wrecked.
In his junk.
Yes.
If he had junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Frieza's not taking this down lightly, and he goes golden, pushing Broly back and charges towards him. Piccolo and back to Goku and Piccolo, they teach Vegeta the dance, and Vegeta doesn't exactly want to do it.
One thing I'm curious about, alright, is that they've only showed, like, I wonder how many times they will have to have done this to get it right, because it's not just a simple case of, like, doing a pose. They have to be completely synced and 100%, like, reflective. Like, they can't be off by, like, 1 inch, apparently. And obviously, they've got to be of the same, like, you know, power level as well for it to work. So it's like the fact that they were able to do this in 3 tries is very, very, like, you know, a big stretch for me.
How long did it take Goten and Trunks to do that? I had to do it
was the same. It was the same attempt. It was free. They went from fat to skinny, and then went to Gotenks.
But wasn't that like the whole spiel about like why fusion is such a technical spectacle? Like, you have to be exactly 100% right.
Yeah, but the kids, even though, here's the thing, even though the kids did like see it and did practice it a bit, they constantly fuck it up, and they've gotten to the point where they've gotten better at it. But like, they're grown, like, if anything, like, I don't think Vegeta's not stupid as a kid. He knows what he's doing, but it's his pride that pushes him to not do it.
Vegeta knows how to dance.
Yeah, exactly. Do you not remember the bingo dance? He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So bingo! So Vegeta doesn't want to do that, so he'd rather die instead. So then they do the dance, they fuck it up, they start fusion, and then we get defective fighter Veku.
No, it's Dragon and Mead now.
Of course, they fuck it up, and Frieza still gets his shit kicked in. They do it again, and
but they have to like wait for half an hour before they're allowed to try it again.
If I remember correctly, it might be an hour.
An hour?
Well, I swear in the manga, it's me and Carl were talking about this last time. Like, in the manga, I think originally it was supposed to be like an hour needed to wait. Like, I could be wrong, but I will look up the. If I like, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do a follow up to this. But after when we talked about this, I'll look it up, and just to make sure. But let's just go with 30 minutes for the moment. So after 30 minutes, they fuse into skinny Veku, which then it's not exactly what they want, and Frieza still gets his shit kicked in by getting punched in the face.
So so basically Frieza got his ass kicked by Broly for a full fucking hour.
Yep.
Like, and damn, that is karma.
Yep. And finally, after 2 of her attempts, 3rd time's the charm, Piccolo smirks, and the birth of Gogeta is here. And of course, Piccolo then asks him, what should we call him? And Gogeta's like saying, how about Vekuja? And then finally goes, how about Gogeta?
And you forgot the best part about it. It's like, my name.
I literally
forget it. No, it's like, no, wait, we need to have a really cool, like, having a special name would be really cool.
I literally just said that, though.
You just say that? I didn't recall you saying the cool part.
I didn't, yeah, but I didn't, I'm going over a synopsis. We've been going over it's been 2 hours.
Alright, okay, never mind then.
Anyway, actually, the synopsis, counting in our banter, has taken longer than the actual movies. So much of it, usually speaking, a synopsis is supposed to be shorter, but
I guess you can say like it's I guess you can say it's like the plot of the movie essentially.
At this point, we might as well have just read the script.
But then we'll probably copyright it.
Then Gogeta says, "How about Gogeta?" After Frieza getting his shit kicked in, Broly is now going on a rampage, heading towards Whis. Frieza acknowledging Broly's massive power. Gogeta finally arrives, and Frieza says, "Who are you?" And Gogeta then goes, "We are Gogeta, Copy and Venom." Then with Gogeta stating that they are the fusion of Kakarot and Vegeta, and acknowledging that Frieza would not know about this because he was dead. And then Gogeta then teleports towards Whis and Broly. Broly charging towards Whis, as Whis just nonchalantly just doesn't try anything.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. But I don't know why Whis is even. Why would he have gotten involved? He must have been by accident. But yeah.
Yeah,
and
I think that's
the
what
point
happened.
where Whis is like, oh well, this is what happens when you two can work together.
Yes. So Gogeta finally steps in and is ready to take on Broly. And well, Broly isn't exactly very happy about this. And the fight goes on with probably one of the best bits of music in the movie being Gogeta versus Broly. Broly is chasing after Gogeta as Gogeta is dodging Broly's onslaught of attacks. As Broly charges towards him, Gogeta starts to finally take it up a notch and goes Super Saiyan. They clash at each other. Gogeta does some amazing handwork, elbows Broly and kicks him straight in the fucking face.
Yep.
Gogeta then unleashes. Gogeta then unleashes what fans call the Stardust Rain onto Broly.
Okay, as far as that one is, that's not what fans have called it. The reason that took the name was because that's the name of that attack in Dokkan.
Is it?
Yes, Dokkan named that attack Stardust Rain.
Well,
what's it called? Sorry.
The move where he's firing up the barrage of energy blasts is called Stardust Rain in Dokkan Battle.
Yeah, that's where that name came from.
Well, I guess it's technically sort of canon because we don't actually have an official name. Anyway.
So basically, he makes it rain.
Yeah, basically. And that's what it is. Broly is taking quite a bit of a beating as Gogeta keeps unleashing energy blasts. Broly then finally gets pissed and blasts them away, charging towards them as they teleport around each other. Clashing at each...
A correction to make. Dokkan calls that attack Stardust Fall.
Oh, okay. I like Stardust Fall does sound a bit better, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, they clash at each other and ready to fire off an energy blast, which I'll let Richard talk about this particular scene.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I have no idea what on earth happened here. So the idea is after a few scenes where you do just see reality just. I don't even know what it is. Go a few more slides. So it looks as if like the fighting in where's the bit where it looks all weird blurry, because it's like here. So it's like I can only imagine what was going through Toriyama's head at this point, and this made me laugh for a week because of just how I kept using this joke. I can just imagine him going like, okay, so Broly does the energy blast from his mouth, Gogeta does the Kamehameha, it's like, oh no, Toriyama's having a stroke, quickly, we need to call a doctor. No, wait, says the manager, keep him going, we can use this. You know, it's like he's just having like a stroke, but yet they're continuing to just let him have the stroke, because this bit was really weird and cool. I'll have to say as well, when we did see the movie, we were relatively we were relatively close to the screen, so we didn't get to see all of the stuff that was going on, but that was my joke where it's like
it's just Toriyama's
having a seizure.
So yes, as they managed to somehow distort and crash reality, Broly finally takes up a notch and goes full power Super Saiyan, giving Super Saiyan Gogeta a run for his money. But of course, Gogeta isn't going down and goes blue and starts pushing back. The fight between Mightiest and Mightiest continues on as they fight in this weird dimension, as they fire energy blasts everywhere and clash, and then they somehow manage to clash and bring back reality. Broly has been sent...
They punch themselves back into, like, back into normal time.
Is that or they gave Toriyama a week in the hospital to make sure he was okay?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Broly gets pushed back and Gogeta is continuing onwards. Chi-Lai and Lemon have then stolen the Dragon Balls for reasons we will get to.
Yes, but somehow. Like, how did she and he manage to get the Dragon Balls? Like, was anybody watching them?
Nope. Well, let's face it, okay, when Vegeta first stole the Dragon Balls and Namek, they were just lying there. So I wouldn't be surprised that Frieza Force need to kind of up their security for the next time.
Yeah, definitely. So the fight continues on as Broly's about to fire off an energy blast. Gogeta deflects it back and then kicks him right in the face. Charges towards him with the God Punisher. Broly unleashes his gigantic roar at him, or as what people like to call him, he's vomiting. He then Gogeta jumps over it and then fires towards him. The first two shots hit and then fires on a barrage as Broly then takes on a JoJo pose.
I'm sorry, it looks so
cool. He then prepares to fire off the last energy blast and then completely envelops Broly in like a blue godly glow. Gogeta then takes a step back and the Dragon Balls have been summoned. Shenlong coming out. Frieza like going, oh fuck. Shenlong asking for the wish and Chi-Lai asking what do you need to do with.
No, literally, it was you just tell the dragon what you want and you get it, and it's like, yeah, even she was kind of surprised on how easy it was.
Yep. So then after that,
God, I wish I knew that before. Your wish has been granted. Wait, what? No!
No! We're supposed to say Broly.
But then Broly emerges from that attack, powering up.
Yeah, there's a paradox there, isn't there?
Yeah. Wouldn't that cause a paradox? I wish I knew that earlier.
Broly powers up and charges towards Gogeta. Gogeta then kicks Broly and sends him flying. With then Broly firing off a giant energy blast. Gogeta. Oh god damn it! They're both practically the same. It's just the same two people fused, but they have a different name and personality. Gogeta then swiftly dodges the attack, charging right in, punches Broly right in the face, and gets ready to send him flying even more. They collide fists and bring up more magma. Gogeta charges towards him and punches right in the gut and gets ready to do one of his ultimate attacks.
He stole Simon Belmont's move Grand Cross from Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Hydro Storm!
Hydro Storm!
Photoshop a coffin into
that. Stop it, Gogeta! Stop it!
Hydro Storm!
No, seriously, Gogeta, that's really fucking annoying!
Hydro Storm! So he basically blows him up with Whis.
I wonder what this move would be called. Like, I don't know, the Heaven's Waterfall or something like that?
No, I think it'd be like open the heavens.
Yeah.
Stardust Geyser?
Yeah, maybe Stardust Geyser. Actually, that does sound pretty good. We stating that the fight is about to reach its ultimate climax. Gogeta is now finally ready to finish off the fight with a full power Kamehameha. With a glow in his eyes and Broly's finally starting to regain his senses. Gogeta fires off the beam towards him. Broly in absolute disarray and shock. Chi-Lai shouts her wish to take Broly back home. And he's been pulled and sent back home. Gogeta has no idea what just happened.
Wouldn't Planet Vegeta technically count as his home?
No, it was like Chi-Lai states Broly wasn't raised on Planet Vegeta.
No. She did say take him back to Vampire. She didn't say.
She said. Well, to be fair, that can't be confused because she said take him back to the planet that he was raised on, which could technically be Vegeta too because he was raised on.
Yeah, but she did say Vampire. I do believe so, but it would be a funny scene when he's like.
And then Broly's all like, "Oh no, Chile for me to be Yamcha. Oh no."
Oh no, I've been wishing to use this character. Bogus. With that,
I don't know why he looks like Yamcha to me.
I think with that, the Dragon Balls head off, and Gogeta then finally is getting ready to end the fight. Lembo then comes and picks up Chile and goes to fly up to Broly, but Frieza isn't exactly having that. But Gogeta comes.
Deep shit.
But Gogeta be like, no, you don't. But then Frieza returned to his original form and stating that he would come back to this planet one day. Gogeta then smiling, as Beerus then smiling on the beach, saying that, well, I guess it all worked out.
And became bankrupt because his daycare center did not work out.
Yeah, exactly. With all that out of the way, Chile and Lembo then head off to planet Bomper to go and help Broly. With Frieza then attacking a nearby planet, hoping for the best that those two will calm Broly down and get him on his side. Broly then showing how he actually survives on this planet, and well, they try and they're not exactly a big fan. But then someone arrives, and it's Goku. Goku has arrived on the planet to actually help them out and give them supplies. Of course, they're not exactly very wary with him.
Very much so. They were very wary with him and like suspicious. They're not even like, how the fuck? Yeah, they did go. How the hell?
Yeah, that was after that. So then Goku shows them that these capsules, which will have the stuff inside, have things for them to use. They see inside they have a new place to live. But then she wonders why then Chile wonders why the Goku did this. The reason why but then Goku states that that he was actually worried that he was actually reached his limit. But then meeting Broly gave him the recognition to keep fighting on. And so after that, Goku then starts to fully head out. They wonder how the hell he even got here. Goku then states that he uses instant transmission to locate them. With Chile then stating that, well, just because you know that we are doesn't mean just because we've left the Frieza Force doesn't mean that you're our friend. We're not gonna make friends with just any Saiyan at all. Goku said that's fine. I don't mind that at all. As long as you let me trim up Broly, I'm fine with that. Broly is fine. Broly smiles at him and then Chile smiles back at Goku, saying that he's actually an okay guy. And with the final words that they ask him what is his name, Goku then turns to them saying that they can call him Goku, but to Broly, he can call him Kakarot. And that is how the movie ends. It ends on a pretty decent enough note, if I say so myself.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say a couple of things about it. All right. Well, one of the biggest improvements, I think, of the movie is that Gogeta is in the movie for longer than 10 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
That was a big downer for me.
Yeah,
much as I thought Fusion Reborn was definitely good in its own right, I was expecting longer than 10 seconds of Gogeta scene.
Yeah, you kind of wish for a bit more, but no, didn't exactly get that. So yeah, with now Broly and Gogeta being canon, it's what we can expect now. We can hopefully, we will hope that maybe Toriyama and them don't forget about Broly and they just brought him in just to introduce him and then just do what they did with Gohan.
Yeah, I can imagine like, so Broly, what do you think of all these things I got from Capsule Corps? Oh yeah, they're really impressive. The food's delicious. I can't wait for my dad to see this when he gets back wherever he is. Yeah, you know, he's probably lost somewhere. He'll probably find his planet at some point. Yeah, of course. Sure, Broly.
Have some more chocolate and water.
Water!
The other thing is, I was going to say, with all this said and done, okay, is, I was going to say a few things. With the Resurrection F movie, I wouldn't be surprised if they started making episodes based on the Broly movie.
I don't think they will.
No. And the second thing I was going to say is, yeah, so I had an idea or a theory where it's like literally, would it be possible that if Goku trains with Broly and that, he could possibly make him go Super Saiyan God? And even that, if his power is just immense, he would be a great candidate for a Destruction God.
Yeah.
But that was just one thing personally, my opinion.
Yeah, there was something else I was going to say. I can't remember now. Fuck.
Was it not
what
like
were we talking about before?
We were talking about. I'm just trying to remember what bit we were talking about. Was it not like talking about Broly as a whole or something like that?
Yeah. Ah, now I remember. So, Richard, what do you think about violent media?
What?
What do you think about violent media?
I'm for it.
No, I mean, does it have an impact on little kids' minds?
No. I think it's more like talk about the movie itself. Wait, are you just playing Dragon Ball? Are you playing Fighter Z now?
I figure just give some kind of visual flair to go on what's going on right now. Just have like something playing for people to just watch.
Actually, I have to say that is actually a good model of
Yeah, it's definitely a good mod. Anyways, what I liked about the Dragon Ball Broly movie was the fact that it was sort of like done in a way that didn't necessarily replace the original Broly. Like, you know, it was sort of like its own character per se, like its own sort of like personality, visuals, etc. Obviously, it's Broly, but it's just obviously it's a Super Broly as opposed to Z Broly.
Yeah.
I like both of the Brolys in their own right, you know, like one was literally like he was just this monster of a person. He knew exactly what he was doing when he was on his rampage, where this one is now very much like they gave him a more sympathetic bit where it's like, yeah, he's gone, he's basically from day one when he was born been made to become just this fighting machine and never been told by any other person that he didn't have to do what he had to do. So one thing, like when it came to like the Z Broly movie, it's just like I definitely like enjoyed it. I was excited when I heard there was going to be like 2 other Broly movies. The problem I had with the second one is that Broly was pretty much a social mute. I mean, like he just sort of like. He only says like one thing. He never communicated. He never sort of like said anything else other than Kakarot. And then just sort of like that was it. He just sort of like he was got a completely different character, in my opinion. And then when it came to Bio Broly, I was just like, you're just taking the piss now. It's like it's not even the same guy. So like, why did you even bother? Yeah.
Get her, Broly! Go in the volcano.
No!
Wait, he could survive lava.
Oh yeah, with what we've learned from this movie, anyone can survive lava now, technically. But yeah, if I have to say one thing, I think that when I think about the movie now, and with Caleb mentioning that there was actually some scenes, that were not in the movie, and it made the movie a bit shorter than its normal length. It does kind of feel like there was some things missing from it. Like
maybe there was missing part for the Bardock part.
Maybe there's actually
that would be interesting.
That would be cool to see. Like there's actually more to Bardock than just those one little bits. Maybe there is. Maybe there's like more stuff for Broly to have a bit more of a character and see what he's actually been up to on Vampa a bit more. Like as he's grown up to be the man he is today.
Speaking of which, I'm looking forward to Fire Z's Broly movie adaptation. With Gogeta.
That's if like they're not. That's if they're not like gonna do like what I've heard. Apparently, like they might be doing like one character per like DLC. So like instead of it being like 2, you get 2 in 1. You get like maybe 1 and then Jesus. But like that's what I've heard because apparently there's been like placeholder DLCs for like the Switch version. So it's very difficult to say what that would be.
Yeah, that's another thing actually. Voice acting. What are they gonna do now?
That's a very good point. But like I said before, like with Broly being, Vic Mignogna being like he's a contractor. So if anything, they can still hire him because he's a contractor. If anything,
how the fuck would he be able to like go back into the like voice acting for? Well, actually, it won't be Funimation, will it?
No, because it'd be for Namco Bandai.
Yeah. So like they don't necessarily have to be like. I guess we'll have to like see how this course hearing goes. But so far, like they seem pretty confident in himself.
Well, I mean, because like if anything, there's been like absolutely no evidence to really prove that. Well, if anything, like there's nothing to really back up the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand the whole like concept of like I know these girls as a person, and this doesn't seem like something that she would lie about. I understand that angle, but I'm in this position where it's like, you know, like it's the whole like burden of proof and the whole reason why we don't burn witches at the stakes anymore. Like, you know, if you have no proof that something did happen, then we can't just be logically assuming that it did happen. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's not saying that we're going to have to assume that the girls are lying or whatever, or whoever's making accusations are liars. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that we can't just willy-nilly destroy somebody's career and life and lock them up in the pallet cell and throw away a key based on somebody's word alone. We're going to have something tangible before we can do that sort of stuff.
That's very true.
Which is the problem I have with this listen and believe shite. Just like, you can't just sort of like say, she said it, therefore, like, you know, fucking, like, this, I mean, this was something that, it's funny because somebody actually said something along the lines of, like, you know, oh yeah, I get it, and I understand where you're coming from, and they just sort of like said somewhere along the lines of, I mean, at the end of the day, for all we know, he could be, the sort of, like, he could be a sexual predator. And I said, yeah, I understand, but you gotta understand that at the end of the day, so could you.
That's
and they're
very
like,
true.
And they're like, well, I haven't been accused yet. And I was like, yeah, not yet.
Not
but
yet,
when
anyway.
but if you do, then what are you going to do about it? Like, what happens then? And obviously, they don't really have anything to say at that point. So it's like, again, it's a very messed up situation where it's like, I don't want like there to be no justice, if that makes sense. I want there to be some sort of justice. And it's just at the moment, I haven't seen anything tangible for me to assume that Vic is a horrible human being. Like, there's not. I haven't seen enough. All I've seen is people making quotes, people making statements, and maybe one or two questionable pictures, which has sort of like been. It's just when I see things like, you know, somebody posts a picture like saying, "Oh, this is Vic hugging a girl in a suggestive way." And like she like, you know, she didn't like it, this, that, and the other. She then actually the woman in the picture, the girl in the picture, actually responded by saying, like, no, this is me, I'm in this picture, and I had no problems with what he did. He was friendly, he was kind, and I was not uncomfortable because my man was there, everybody else was there. Please don't use me as your cudgel to like to put Vic in, like, to accuse Vic, because I don't want to be a part of it. And I'm just like, well, geez, if you're going to like start lying about like certain like pictures and stuff, then what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to think? And there was something else as well. Sorry, that sort of like went into that there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like, so
anyways, just the other thing I was going to say is there was actually somebody talking about photoshopping an image to make him look more guilty than he actually is. And I was like thinking to myself, like, okay, come on, man, come on, it's like, stop that. The more you start doing shit like that, the more I'm going to assume that, yeah, Broly wins. The more I'm going to assume that someone has an agenda involved. Okay, so yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just going to see what this core hearing happens. But
that's
so far, considering the fact that Vic is willing to go to court with this, let alone that people are now removing the Twitter, like, you know, messages and stuff, and
I know what you mean.
As well as there was something else. So yeah, they're moving the Twitter stuff, and they already started a hashtag called "Be There." Just makes me feel like that it's just hot air. Like, they just. I mean, again, I'm willing to admit that this could all blow back in my face, and it could be something that happens that sort of like exposes Vic as being like what he's been accused of. But as I stand now, there's not enough. That's how I see it. There's not enough for me to like know that Vic is like not the person that he is.
So yeah, let's not keep thinking about that one for the moment. So. If anything, though, we were going to talk about the whole thing about Broly's power keep constantly increasing. And remember, that was like a thing that we mentioned during the synopsis. So I can understand like people like thinking that, well, that's kind of a bit bullshit how he's just able to get stronger. But when you really think about the situation, that was kind of like the situation for any Saiyan.
Yeah, well, you see, the whole reason why Broly was in the first place was because he had that abnormal ability. Like, he was just very strong for even for a baby, and that was probably because his special ability was to sort of like get stronger, like over and over again, like without as much as even trying.
That's very true, because that was like the main thing with like what made Broly different from every single movie villain. Like, he was just a different beast entirely.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, I mean, like, one of the main reasons why Broly was his sort of like his character. Like, he was just a psychotic, like, freak. It's just like, and he knew it. He knew it was just a complete like basket case.
That's very true.
Yeah, I do what needs to be done. What you expect from a true freak?
That's very
like, he just like, you know, that was always like, I just remember the first time I saw him. It was Budokai 3. And it's just when I unlocked him, I was like, okay, I'll try this character out. And I just like, you know, I just love the it's the aura. I love the effects, the aura effects. You know, like the, you know, that was always cool for me. And then just when it did his ultimates and successfully, I was just like, oh my god, he just did a nuclear bomb.
Just fucked up everything.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see what they're gonna do with Broly now, because I mean, if they really waste this opportunity, then that's kind of like the sad thing about it.
Yeah.
There's not really much.
I mean, like, for the English dub, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Japanese Broly's fine.
Yeah, I mean, clearly people come in. All right, see you later. Good night.
But what, like, if anything, like, they shouldn't have any problems with like doing what they're gonna do now, because I feel like everyone knows that, like, everyone's gonna like this Broly a bit more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that was that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get the dramatic finish, which is weird. That's what I was trying to go.
You didn't. Yeah. Anyways, but the thing about like, obviously when it comes to Broly, he was clearly popular enough to warrant his own movie, his own canon, because like, obviously he was that popular. I mean, that was something that Akira was complimented on. Like, he said that as much as there was improvements to the character that he wanted, that he felt was necessary, he says the character alone was very interesting. Like, he was very interested in the character itself.
Well, Broly's actually a character that can be worked on, but the problem is with like the first like Z Broly, he's not very good. Like, in terms of like character, he's not exactly a well thought out one. So,
well, in terms of like plot device and stuff, no, he's not. Like, that was one of the things I mentioned about when we were talking about the movie, the Super one. Sorry. Mm-hmm. He at least had like a valid reason to hate Goku and well Vegeta, sorry, because he
because of the past.
His dads hate him because like, obviously they were left stranded to defend themselves for 40 years, which is obviously is enough to get anybody pissed.
Yeah, anyone would be really fucking angry.
Yeah,
I mean, I would be.
I mean, yeah. Damn you! You look like the guy who fucking got me fucked. Yeah, so yeah, at least it made more sense, and let alone that is I don't know. It's like, you know, like he created the sort of like the shock collar similar to the headbands.
But like the shock collar is probably much better, because it's not like he's like a pawn. He's not like a flippin'... He's not like a very motionless character who's been like warped because of the flippin' thing. Like, yeah. He's not like he's been given like... He's not like he's been given like depression tablets. That's it. Let's just say that. Like,
I have to warn you, but whatever.
Oh god, you're flipping calling the flipping Abridged movie again, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a good dub. Probably someone with a pretty big
apparently Sean Schimmer doesn't really like it, though. He doesn't really like Team 4-Star.
Yeah.
Well, you done this. Like, that's fine. It's just, obviously, when something makes me laugh, I have to admit it. Do you know what I mean? Hello, where's your power level?
Yeah, there we go. Got it.
Oh, you got it then.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think they changed it now to actually only being done with Snap Vanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole Broly movie it's a funny one. Let's just say that it's done well. It's done well enough at both the Japanese box office, done well around the world. But the problem is now, when you figure the Broly movie now, there's just the flipping a massive amount of stigma that lingers onto it now, which makes it gives it a bad taste. But honestly, at the end of the day, it really just comes down, if you really like the movie, then you like the movie. If you want to get it on DVD, then I suggest you get it through other means, because honestly, if you don't want to support Funimation for the decisions that they've made, you can do that. But other than that, there's not really much you can do.
Well, here's the thing, alright? Some people say that the only reason why Funimation did what they did was because they did have substantial evidence to prove that Vic did do what he's accused of, or apparently. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let him go in the first place.
No, apparently one of the
But if that was the case, then Vic wouldn't be calling a lawyer, would he?
Yes.
So that's how I see it. So somebody's bullshit.
No, one of the things was that the investigation was inclusive. Like they didn't have any
inclusive, so that way there wasn't proof to prove either or.
Yes.
But just a safe face decided to let him go anyways.
Yes, that's basically what people.
I just find that entire thing so like really shady, because it just basically tells me that if somebody decides to tell a funny story about one of us, then because these people have a listen and believe narrative, then that's all it takes, just a fib. That's all it's going to take. So when it came to the whole Me Too stuff, as much as I'm glad that some issues had been brought to light, it did introduce an element of fear, because now people are curious, well, if you're going to do this listen and believe stuff, then what's going to happen if somebody calls out my name next to the Me Too hashtag? What's going to happen to my livelihood? So now there's these people who are going out of their way not to hire women to work with them, or at the very least to not work with them alone, which obviously puts women...
I know what you mean. It's getting ridiculous to this point. But if anything, there's only really one thing you can say. At the end of the day, whatever happens, it happens, and that just really is all you can do. Just have to see what happens. But getting away from that particular topic, though, I did actually have a question to ask any of you. If there was something you could change about them in this movie, what would it be? If you could add or change something, what would that be?
Good question.
Because the one thing I'd change is that scene, because we talked about the scene before, when they flipping made Super Saiyan Broly become Wrath Broly in the trailer when he's fighting Frieza. What would have, and it made the thing that I got from it was I thought it was gonna be something like Frieza was training Broly, which that probably would have been, in my opinion, a bit of a better way to maybe that would have probably maybe smoothed things in a bit to make it to make the drastic change. The fact being he's getting stronger is it may put a bad taste in people's mouth, but if it was a gradual thing, showing if you see him train with Frieza, as you see him get to the point where he's actually on par with them, then that would have made a bit more sense. But in the movie, it's just you have to just take it. You just have to take it like this: that Broly has this unlimited amount of potential, and he's just getting stronger by fighting and being pushed to close to death. That's the one thing I'd change. Have a few scenes of just seeing Broly train with Frieza at least. Given the feel of death at least.
Mine's pretty simple. I'd add more to the Bardock scenes.
I think that's probably the same for Curtis as well.
Extend that for just a little bit.
I would also agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would also like to have seen a bit more Bardock, and I think... Oh, what the fuck?
Sorry, my mic stopped working there. I thought there was a reason why you interrupted me. Sorry. Clue number one. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why I thought was there's the thing to think about, John. The fact that he was on that planet for 40 years, who knows how many times he's been brought back from the brink of death.
That is true, but but with Broly though, those things probably wouldn't even pose a threat to him anymore. So the fear of death kind of just goes away at a point. If anything, Paragus should have been the stronger one at that point.
Okay, I think there's two things that crosses my mind in terms of like what I wanted different, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was the whole like with the whole Bardock scene at the beginning. All right, I felt like it was very quick to sort of like gloss over who the Saints are and what they do. All right, and with the whole like Bardock Last Stand sort of scene, I wish that could be added more to.
Yeah,
which could be part of the deleted scenes. I think it could be, but it might not. I don't know. Anyways, there's that. And if I'm frank with you, I feel like some of the voice acting on Broly's part could have been a bit better.
To be fair, I think with anything, like, people are expecting like these things to be extremely over the top. Like, I've heard like the Broly voice actor. His performance is fine, but there's just something about it when he screams. I find it a little bit weird. Like, it sounds when it came to that transformation, like the one that you're using as your splash background, like when he was doing that yell, I felt like it was off key a bit. I think it's because like sometimes like I don't know the whole situation with voice acting, because like for games it's a bit of a different story. With video games, like the reason why like things like Xenoverse and Fighters are like completely off sync is because like the voice actors are only being told what to say, and that's it. They're not given any kind of context to it or anything. In the movie, in the olden days, like it came down. Like I think it was like in like the behind the scenes of like Battle of Gods. Like you saw them actually see the scene of how to actually act and what they're supposed to do and what the context is. It should be the same thing for Broly, but I guess it was trying to also maybe not try to. When you're trying to like do like a different character, you don't want it to be like similar to like the same one. So I guess
I know what you mean.
But for Vic,
I mean, to be fair, for that, I mean, for when I say the voice acting, I think I'm mostly talking about that transfer, that yelling stage.
Yeah,
like I think that's the only time I've ever had like a real problem with it. I think everything else is pretty much spot on, or pretty much close to spot on. And if I'm honest with you, when it comes to the Gogeta like voice acting, like I think I prefer that over the Japanese. Like I decided to watch them side by side, and I feel like a lot of the English dub I prefer over the Japanese dub in a lot of ways. I don't know about you.
Well, I'm fine with either, but the one thing I can't really stand is Broly's yelling, because sometimes it sounds like he's gargling a little bit. If you watch the Japanese trailer of the one I'm using for the splash. Yeah, it kind of sounds like he's gargling more than anything. I mean, the guy is fine. And the weird thing is that when I hear him yell, I kind of feel like I'm hearing Vegeta a smidge, and it's weird. So whenever I hear him yell, I feel like I'm hearing like a bit of a Vegeta going on there, but that's not Vegeta though, it's someone else.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If anything, like I think, like I said, like if Broly had like a bit more time to train, like if there was like just at least a training scene or something like that, that would have maybe excused the fact being that he's rushing into everything and he just comes out stronger and stronger. And what you mentioned before about Goku being like he was like in Super Saiyan, yeah, that's a weird one. Because like Vegeta went God and like he was having a trouble, but Goku just went Super Saiyan, he was like fine for like a good while. Like that was like, because I remember you were talking about that before, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's actually a good point actually when you put it like that. Like if Goku's just in Super Saiyan, why did Vegeta even need to go Super Saiyan God?
Yeah.
Unless Goku's just stronger than Vegeta, which at that point it's very hard to tell, because like at the end of Super, you see Goku and Vegeta having like a clash, and they're about pretty much even at that point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange, but overall, it just really just comes down to whatever happens. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Broly in the future. Hopefully, this fiasco will actually
die down.
Well, obviously, yes, I want that to die down. But what I hope for is, if they do get more, if Broly does appear more, I hope they do get Vic back. It's very unlikely that he will come back because of the fucking bullshit thing that happened with him with Funimation and all that. Again,
it's not even just Funimation. It was just like the voice actors he worked with even threw him under the bus.
Yep.
And it's people as far as I can tell, Bulma, guy who does Goku, Sean
Schimmel.
Yeah,
Chris
and
Sabat.
the one that voiced Krillin.
Sunny Straight.
Yeah, and they were talking about how like they shouldn't, like, you know, Vic shouldn't be doing anything to make his fans feel uncomfortable and stuff. And then people on Twitter was just throwing pictures of them hugging and kissing their fans, and it's like, hey, stop harassing people, guys.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I'm sorry, I agree. It's like, it's hypocritical. It's beyond hypocritical. But yeah, it's just like, who knows?
Sometimes.
Like, I mean, who knows? This whole like court hearing might actually shed some light on like what on Vic, and then that will probably change my perspective. But until then, I have no reason to hate the guy. Like, it's just not enough for me to go off on.
Yeah, that's what that's the same thing.
I can't just trust people. I can't just trust people based on their words. I need, like, it's different if it was something like a sister or something like that, because you know them personally. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like, you know, that's completely different. But still, you have to like err on the side. But even then, like, there's times where, you know, you have a friend or you know somebody and they make accusations, and sometimes you're like, yeah, you've lied before. I know you've lied before about this sort of stuff. So what makes you think that? So how am I supposed to know you're not lying now? So it goes the other way as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean, and it gets like, again, whatever happens. But if anything, the problem comes down to. But what I'm more worried about is what's going to happen with Vic's career, because at this point, I just hope he can at least get some things amended.
I hope he bounces back from this, because this is like 20 years down the drain if it isn't.
Yeah, like, going from Star Trek to doing like anime and all that. He also sings, by the way, so that's also going to be a problem as well.
Yeah,
like everything is like and the problem. What was it again? I was trying to remember something and it's completely gone from my mind. Oh, now I remember now. The whole thing about Sean Schimmel and Sunny Straight, they are a bunch of bastards, because like they made a parody video making fun of Vic, saying that he likes touching like 12-year-old boys and all, though, and like watching, like going to the schools and all that, going to schools and like watching the.
Hey, see, that sounds like somebody that's not treating this thing seriously.
No,
do you know what I mean?
This
that doesn't sound like.
This isn't recent, by the way. This was like a few years back.
All right.
So like, and Sean has like stated that he doesn't like the guy at all. But to be fair, like, yeah. Sean's a bit of a drama queen at this point.
People like, this is one of the things that gets on my nerves about it. It's like, you know, the person who voices Bulma, forgot her name.
Monica Rial.
Yeah, she's talking about how she's always felt uncomfortable around him because she's been a victim of like his behavior and that. But then people have forwarded like tweets and like video conversations of her like this is me. This is the way I see it. All right. If somebody is going to the extent of making you feel so uncomfortable to the point where it's getting really personal, like sexual assault wise, you would be doing everything you can to stay out of that person's way.
Yes,
that's the way I see it. But when she says about these things, about like how he's always been like this and she's never felt comfortable with him and this, that, and the other, people are forwarding tweets and her having conversations with Vic, calling him lovely and a sweetheart, and like saying, "Oh, we should do this again sometimes." That's not normal. That's not normal behavior. If what she's saying is true and he has done all these things, that's not a normal behavior. Like, you don't continue to hang around with your harasser. Like, yeah, exactly. Like that is a really bad thing to do, especially if you want people to believe you.
Yeah, you know it doesn't help at all. But what doesn't help though is the fact being that Jamie Marchi's involved and she's like very funny about things. Like she's been like tampering with anime and all that though. And like she says that no, it's not me, it was the writers and things like that. But I'm thinking, but you're like the lead writer. You're the one that lets these things go through. Like,
yeah, and what also gets on my nerves is when people talk about like I didn't want to say anything because like people be making comments where it's like, you know,
I don't
it
want
makes
to say
sense
anything because people would hate me and all that.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm sorry, but if you let someone like that get away with what they did, not only does it mean that you don't get justice, but gives them the ability to do it again.
Exactly.
Which, like, you know, like that's the worst thing that you could. It's basically the worst thing that you could do for him. like to like let him get away with it, because
like,
it just means it's like it's going to give him the impression that what he's doing is fine, and he can just do it again.
It's so simple though. Like it's not like the problem is like with everything though. Like people like to know you like there's like no police reports of anything saying anything about Vic or anything like because you can. Here's the thing: you can look up any police report online and you will find information about anything about particular people, and there's not a single thing about Vic.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if there was, simply because, like, when you become rich and famous, chances are you're gonna get the dodgy people that are gonna like make stories like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would be surprised if all the voice actors, like Chris Sabat, Sean,
Monica,
whoever, like, I would be surprised if someone was posting their own stories about these actors and what they secretly did to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't, like, you know. Like, I'm not saying that there is, I'm just saying like the internet's a big place, and if you're somebody that's sort of like a well-known figurehead to the point where where a lot of people know you, then chances are you're gonna have like one or two like people that's not gonna like you, and chances are one of those people are gonna like write something about you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it wouldn't be surprised like the fact that there's millions of people, billions, sorry, using the internet. The fact that there's going to be at least one person like that, like it's not that unbelievable when you think about it.
Yeah, that's very true. But anyway, though,
again, we're all going on this sort of like idea that it's not true. I'm not saying it isn't. It's just again,
there's just not enough evidence to back up anything.
I need to see more. Like, it's this what I've got at the moment. It's not enough.
That's very true. But I will say this though, that everything at the moment, all we can really do is just wait and see how the trial goes through, and that's all we can really do.
Yeah. Sorry about this, Richard. And
it's fine. Don't worry.
I got back.
Yeah, I was gonna say Caleb's been like on mute because I think he went away for a bit.
Yeah, it's just like we went a bit of a tangent there.
No, that's fine, dude. I totally understand. It's cool.
Anyway, to all the people watching out there, I hope you all enjoyed this first episode of the redone Random Gamers podcast. I'm hoping to do a bit more of these. I just gotta find time to space these out and talk about and find specific topics I wanted to get people on to talk about. If you all enjoyed, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. And I'd like to thank all my co-hosts for coming on and talking about this movie that we love, and we wish it had more. It got more praise, but due to people, they just like want to bring things down.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next stream, which will be this Friday. Hopefully it'll be something a bit different than Danganronpa, who knows. And if you're looking forward to the next episode of this, I will make sure to keep you guys posted. And so until then, I'll see you all there. Good night, everyone.
To the next time on the most exciting episode of Scion's podcast. Is that better?
Yeah, that's definitely better. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a good note. So I love it.